Welcome to the RDP Match of the Day.
PFM coverage of the Mornington Peninsula Football League in season 2022. We've made our way to beautiful Chelsea this afternoon. We are at the Chelsea Recreation Reserve for this Division 2 game between the home side Chelsea and the visitors Somerville. Calling all the action this afternoon, AJ King, Michael Voss, and AJ, a special guest with us this afternoon.
Grego, listeners and viewers, thanks for joining us. Lovely to be here at Chelsea. Vossi, good to have you in again. And yes, we've got another commentator today, and hopefully we have him for a number of weeks this year, just depending on some deliveries. But Daz, the man behind the Mpnfl brief, thanks for joining us.
Mate, pleasure to be here. Looking forward to this. Should be a good game. I think Somerville will start out the early favourites, but as we know with this sport, anything can happen, and it's a bit of a blowout in the reserves, but hopefully the seniors goes a bit better.
Vossi, what about you, mate? Where do you see the game lying today?
Well, you rate Somerville as a better side than what we rate Chelsea, I'd imagine. And look, Somerville had a few injuries. They didn't have Tom Roberts playing last week, but he'll be back out there this afternoon. Somerville going as favourites, no doubt.
We're going to head over to Pete Susevich, who has the umpires with him right now.
Rowan and Shane here at the moment. They're the officiating umpires today. How are we going, folks?
Good, thanks, Sus. Yeah.
And tell us who's accompanying you today?
I've got Shane Hill.
Yep.
So there's two field umpires today.
Only two today?
Yes. And the boundary umpires are Stephen Bonfadini and Alex Barton. And the goal umpires will be Neil Gordon and David Taylor.
No, and any changes? I mean, the season's pretty solid as we go.
Yeah.
There's no changes in rules or anything? We're just stock standard same?
No rule changes from last year, Sus, but we have talked several times during the year so far about dangerous acts and dangerous tackles. So the umpires have been asked to look after the players there.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think the other thing as well, you know, the more things change, the more they stay the same. You know, you're just looking after the ball player at the end of the day.
And well, folks, good luck today. Hope you have a great game, and possible we'll catch you after the match.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Come on.
And we're back. It's a great interview. Thank you, Pete. And we're just having a little look at the reserves game. Vossi, you mentioned that one of the players is left high and dry.
I couldn't believe that. The Chelsea player was working so hard. He was trying to get the ball forward, and he had two players on him, and his mate just sort of sat back and just sort of go, well, I reckon there might be a chance of getting a free possession here, so I'll just sort of sit back rather than going in to help, and that probably typifies the score on the board at the moment. Somerville playing very good football. They're up by 67 points, and we're just about to finish. Only got seconds to go in the reserves game this afternoon. But there are some good games happening. There are some games that probably a little bit one-sided this afternoon as well. But where are we going to start, AJ?
Well, I'm going to start by announcing a new sponsor. It's lovely to have Icon Sports Melbourne on board. So Icon Sports Melbourne provide customised clothing for your sporting club and workplace. They also look after your social media needs with their fantastic graphics, Vossi, as well as a range of sporting equipment available. Find them on Facebook at Icon Sports Melbourne. So we know a couple of people that work there, Vossi, one of the Bush Bradmans for the MPCA.
We do. So, yeah, no, looking forward to having them on board. Absolutely. So the final score in the reserves was Somerville 12-16-88, beating Chelsea 3-20.
What we're going to do is we'll have a look at Division 1 first, Vossi. Pines playing Sorrento at home.
Well, it all depends on what sort of side Sorrento come out with. If Sorrento are a few players down, Pines are a chance.
Do you want to know who's out?
Go on, tell me.
Hallahan by 2.
Yeah.
Crode.
Yeah.
Wood.
Yeah.
Bywater. Corp.
What's wrong with the last two you just mentioned?
Not playing this week. Marston, out.
It's no excuses then,
Pines
is there?
might be half a sniff in that game. A very close game, but I'm going to say that Pines are a genuine chance.
Absolutely. I tipped Sereno during the week, and I saw their side that come out yesterday, and I was very surprised with the omissions.
Wow. Like any idea with Corp and Bywater what the issue is?
I know King Curtis was getting married, I think, soon, but I'm not sure whether it is for that reason. But
now, if that's the case, Curtis, I'll just offer you a piece of advice concerning my single life. I'll just offer you a piece of advice here. If you're going to get married as a footballer, do it in the cricket season. And if you're a cricketer, marry in the football season.
What if you're both, Bossy? Do you just look at October and just think hopefully a date opens up, or...?
Well, you've just got to prioritise what you're better at, and then you've just got to, and you go, right, okay, well, when did you get married?
Late September.
You had to think about that, didn't you?
No.
There was a little hesitation.
Grand final weekend.
So were you available for round one that year, were you?
I don't think I was playing.
Okay.
It was the Thursday.
All right, well... No,
I was on holidays in Port Douglas, so it didn't really matter what day it was. That's why I was trying to think back, like what actual weekend. I know what the date is because it's not too hard. It's 2 days after the little one's birthday, so that helps with the remembering of that. Got a busy September.
He's got absolutely no idea, Daz.
26th of September.
He's a bit like the morning eggs, I think. He's scrambling.
Vossi, I'll tell you what. I'm not sure viewers and listeners aren't going to see it, but it's not hard to forget when you've got the...
Oh, no.
You've got it tattooed on there, mate, with the palm tree that I stood in front of. So it's pretty smart by me. I won't get in trouble.
Yeah, it just tells us that you can't remember on your own and you just need the reminder.
Well, yeah, maybe. Just maybe.
I just think, going back to the original point, Curtis Bywater, if that's why he's out, okay, look, he wants to get married, you get married, that's fine and dandy, but as a footballer, do it in the cricket season.
Absolutely. So, yeah,
it's a must-win game. Like, and they've got guys out today. If they lose today, they're right back in the pack rather than out of 5, I think, if they lose today.
Well, we spoke about it, the fact that the last couple of years when they had the injuries that they weren't in great nick, and it's starting to happen again, Vossi.
Yeah, look, they're not travelling at all well after the first few games. They're kicking 20 goals plus against some quality opposition, but yeah, not to be for them at the moment. It's just off their tucker, if you like, a little bit.
Now, Dramana playing Rosebud at Dramana. In the side when we saw them against Langwarrin, especially I think it's Brendan Heed. He's a big fella, 53. Looks like he'll be fit in pretty well, maybe up forward and as a second ruckman.
Yeah, look, obviously there are a few players down. Look, they need to get their list back. If they can get their list back, obviously they don't have Nick Mason playing. He hasn't played much this season as well. But they've got Tom Roberts back today, which is great for them. But you're still a distance behind Langwarrin at the moment. But going back to the point, Dramana will win.
Does?
Yeah, I agree, Dramana.
Edith Vale playing Frankston Bombers at Edith Vale. I can't go past Frankston in that one.
Has to be the Bombers. They're 4-3. They've got Edith Vale today, Rosebud next week. Has to be Edith Vale or is it next week or next game? Because are we playing next week? Or it might be next game, depending on the Queen's birthday's next weekend, isn't it?
The following one, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, following one, I think.
Well, they're playing next week then. Okay, Edith Vale today, Rosebud next week. So they have to win those two games. They win those two, they're 6-3, and they're sitting a lot better at the moment. And all of a sudden, they weren't in the greatest of form, and all of a sudden they're hitting a bit of form, whereas Sereno are going...
Also, probably the match of the day across the Division 1 competition, Frankston YCW playing Mount Eliza at Frankston.
Stone Cats.
Yeah, I'm with the Stone Cats on that one after seeing him last week.
Absolute corker of a game, though. It's a good chance if YCW do get up, they'll kind of separate themselves a little bit and announce themselves as a true contender. So one to watch for sure.
Did I see that Byron Barry's playing his 200th game? Did I see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. So another big game. They rested a few of their stars last week at times throughout the day. They really want this game, and if they win, they go a game clear. Same for Mount Eliza. Mount Eliza in very good form. It's not going to be easy, but yeah, Stone Touch should win.
And the final game, Red Hill playing Bomb Beach up at Red Hill. Bomb Beach need a win.
Bomb Beach need a win. It's not the place to go where you need a win, and it's cold and it's overcast and maybe a little bit damp in the air, although it's not too bad here. I'm suggesting at Red Hill it might be a little bit on the more chillier side up there. Bomb Beach really need to win. They will win, but it's not the place to go where you're looking to try and find some form.
Certainly, I think Bomb Beach will win, but I wouldn't write Red Hill off at home in any game, Vossi.
No, I certainly wouldn't.
Daz, what about you on that one, mate?
Yeah, I'm going to go Bomb Beach as well because until we hit finals, I'm the team that want to win. So it's up to Bomb Beach now.
Now let's have a look in Division 2. Hastings playing Seaford at home. Seaford on, I think it's a 4-0 trot at the moment, boys, and they look superb.
Yeah, look, they're going along very well, and they'll win again today.
Absolutely.
It's got danger game written all over it, this one. I think if Seaford are a proper outfit and want to announce themselves as a contender, this is the kind of game that they need to win. So if they let this one slip, I think it's going to have a lot of implications for further on down the season.
Langwarrin playing Mornington at Langwarrin. That's probably all we need to say about that one, Vossi.
Skippy by a long way. The Kangaroos to win easily.
Absolutely.
You can't tip against them until they lose, surely.
Kringle Crib Point at Kringle.
You can argue Mornington's got Mission Impossible today. That's the way. Until someone does it, it's Mission Impossible.
Absolutely. Kringle Crib Point at Kringle.
Kringle easily.
For me too.
Yeah. Pearcedale playing Rye at Pearcedale. Pearcedale in some great form. Third on the ladder, I think they are. So, yeah, Pearcedale at home for mine.
For mine, it's going to be a Pearcedale win. If this was at Rye, this is a danger game, but Pearcedale will win at home. It's Pearcedale's.
Yep.
It's going to be a percentage boost for sure, and Tyab, I know they're not the bottom team on the ladder, but a percentage of 40 probably tells you that 100 plus isn't so far out of the realms of possibility.
Great to see Tyab get a win last week for the competition, and Anthony Aegis, and hopefully they can go forward. And well, yeah, they had the Buchan boys. They had a Buchan beauty last week in their games. The three of them playing. Yeah, no, you'd have to say Devon, and maybe for the. For your future, what's it called? The brief? No, it's called
the brief.
The brief.
Yeah.
Maybe for the brief, maybe you should maybe get, I don't know, put AJ to say, look, if such and such beats such and such, I'll do such and such. Maybe a dare of the week or something like that. Maybe
a bit of a bet for the during the week. I like it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Potentially, I thought you were going to go down the line of like have a Buchan party or something, Vossi.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Move on.
And obviously, we're here at Chelsea Recreation Reserve, and we've got Chelsea playing Somerville. Wiggy Canavan before the game, and he mentioned that they've got a number of players back in this week, so they're starting to take shape as a squad, and I think they're going to be too strong here against Chelsea.
They need the win. I think that they will get the win, but obviously having the players back helps them immensely. You need all hands on deck if you potentially going to have a crack at Langwarrin later in the year. They've already obviously played them the once and got done by 5 goals in that game, but they desperately need the help, and having big Tom Roberts back in the middle is going to be huge for them this afternoon, and they'll go on their merry way and have a win this afternoon.
There's a bit of Chelsea getting out of the blocks maybe early, maybe sticking it up to Sammy, but over the course of
welcome back, hopefully Nick Mason in a couple of weeks, Vossi.
Yeah, I think he's played 1 and a bit games, and I was speaking to his mum last night, and I was speaking to his dad before. He's done a groin, and he'll be back soon. This is killing him, apparently. I'm sure Nico will probably know that I'm talking about him at some stage. He'll probably be listening or hear second hand anyhow, but this will be absolutely killing him that he's not out there playing at the moment, doing what he loves to do, but yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And I'll just mention of the Raiders. It's going to be a fantastic day, and you're seeing some high quality Mpnfl players on the
Beautiful. We're almost ready here for a start between Chelsea and Somerville football netball clubs. Players just getting into position. Two giants in the midfield in the ruck work. Going to do battle. Umpire holding the ball aloft. As the siren goes. First contest getting underway. And Roberts gets the first tap out. Somerville look to go forward. They do with a quick kick through Williams. They find Daniel Marshall. He's going to back himself here, boys.
Geez, this would take a great kick.
Oh, he's got the tree trunk legs.
Well, I think
enjoys the gym.
Now his hand passed it off, and now they're a chance through. Luke Rowe goes long. He's off target and out of bounds in the full. He was waiting until someone come past, and finally someone did, and Chelsea were just they were not awake to it.
They certainly weren't. As Chelsea bring the ball out. On the scoreboard side here, Chelsea Recreation Reserve. He looks for something coming up the ground. He goes long. Big spoil there from Mantell for Somerville. Ball just bouncing around. It's on the deck. Quick kick forward. They find Matthew Baxter. He goes long, looking for Lewis. And he's going to kick the first goal here for Chelsea.
Got to get straight to the kicker there. That was an outstanding kick. 2-on-1. He was goal side. Had to hit essentially the top of the square, and they did. That's a fantastic start and a fantastic kick.
Absolutely. Chelsea go to 1 straight 6. Somerville yet to score. We've played 1.5 minutes here at Chelsea Recreation Reserve. Premier Traditional Home scoreboard.
Was it just me then, or did the Somerville defence just literally, give up on that? Like, literally just Kruger took the mark and he played on, and there wasn't really the effort to try and bring him down. Maybe they crossed paths, and maybe Kruger was going in, and maybe the Somerville defence gone the other way. It just didn't seem a lot of intensity there with that one. It was too easy, that goal.
Absolutely. As we welcome our radio listeners, second ball up here in the middle of the ground. Somerville going to win a free kick for too high, going the way of Luke Burton. He handballs the ball off to Haskett. He goes up looking for Maroney over his head. Chelsea just get the ball back. Sean Foster doing a bit of work out there, Vossi.
Quality player over a long time, isn't he?
Absolutely. We'll get a throw in on the far side, on the Chelsea side of the ground.
Further in our conversation before the game, what do you reckon Foster would do? Do you reckon he would have got married cricket season or football season? Because he's quality at both.
Oh, yeah, it's a tough one. Tough one there. Paddy Nagel just trying to lay a tackle on his opponent for Chelsea. Burton pushes off with a don't argue. He goes one way, then goes back again. They've worked their way, the ball forward, Somerville. Big contest in their run looks good already, Somerville, although they've turned it over. Chelsea go forward. Kane McKenzie with a big spoil. He's been fantastic this year for Somerville, boys, but he's going to be taken down with a great tackle by Davies.
That's outstanding. Chelsea have given up the first 3 clearances, which is what they wouldn't want, but with that kind of effort around the ground, they can make up for it early here.
Going inside forward 50 at Chelsea. No free kick given to Mantell. Luke Rowe with the little hands. Back to Mantell. Walker Swain gets a quick little kick out, but
Dangerous
it's not going to be able to clear the forward 50. Chelsea, one of two players, and they've found him. Tight angle. He needs to just go back.
I tell you what, Wiggy's not going to be very, Brad Canavan, Wiggy's not going to be very happy with that effort by Kane McKenzie there. Look, the fact that he came out, but the fact that there was no talk around him created all this problem. And that kick out was a nothing kick, and it's enabled Chelsea to have a shot now. Open goal face, an opportunity for Sam McKinnon to kick a goal. Sam McKinnon was a great basketballer for the Magic over the time. Has the shot. He snuck it in. He has snuck it in. Second goal on the board to Chelsea. Great start by the home side. 2 straight 12. Yet to score, and that we've played 5 minutes in the opening quarter on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard.
Does your first thoughts and looks into this game after 5 minutes?
Yeah, with the ball in hand, Somerville look really sure of themselves, and they've got a plan, but geez, when they turn the ball over, they look lost defensively, and that back six, it's all well and good to get the rebound 50s, but it's when the ball goes in, your first step is you've got to stop your man, and that's 2 pretty easy uncontested marks inside 50, so they've got to tighten that up.
Chelsea have been up and down this year with their form, AJ, as well, so this might be a good week for them, but it's not a good start for Somerville, and they need to hit the ground running, which they haven't done so far.
Absolutely. Both rucks do battle. Tom Roberts well on top for Somerville. And it's just held in, and we'll get another stoppage in the centre square. That was Harrison Paul with the ball. Tom Roberts gets the hit out down to Williams. Moroney, he looks in forward, goes over the back. And it's just a point. They move and get on the board, Vossi, to 1 behind. Chelsea 2 straight 12. Premier Traditional Home scoreboard.
They've got to lock this in now, Somerville.
Sean Foster doing the kicking duties for Chelsea. He goes long. Out there is Jake Haskett in the long sleeves. And we'll get a throw in right in front of the scoreboard here at Chelsea Recreation Reserve.
Jake Haskett, very good game against Langwarrin a few weeks ago, and he's been in fantastic form for Somerville in the last year or so. They go forward up to half forward and picking up the ball there, but getting on the left foot and a quick kick towards attacking 50. It's into open spaces. It's an opportunity for both sides. Good tackle applied there by the Chelsea player. I've got a number 3 out there, and we've got no number 3 on the list there.
That would be the player that was named. There was a player.
Is that right?
That's
okay.
Player.
That sounds like a stitch-up.
So he's a player, is he?
Yeah, player.
Hey, player. Yeah, okay, so...
I did forget to mention that to you, Vossi.
Yeah, thanks for dropping me under the bus there, AJ. Opportunity here at half forward for Chelsea, but the Somerville defence will win out with a kick out towards half back. Nagel, ball knocked away from him. He lost sight of the ball. Krieger's going to get an opportunity to maybe go for his second goal. He got the hand pass. He was too busy focusing on where the player was behind him rather than trying to go forward. And now Somerville clear out towards the half-back line, and the mark has been taken. Now they can pinpoint and maybe get the ball, the switcher up the other end. The mark has been taken by Luke Burton, and they can play on to centre-half forward.
That's a great kick from Burton, finding Jake Haskett. He's been prominent early.
You a fan of the long sleeves, AJ?
Absolutely. I wore the long sleeves.
I made him as a bowler. I told you, AJ, I made him as a bowler.
He goes in short looking for the G-man, and he clunks them early, Vossi.
Yeah, well, his first action today is not getting under the skin of someone. It's or them under the skin of him, but he's actually having a shot. This will be great for his confidence.
Absolutely.
That's 4 elite kicks in a row to set up this scoring chain, starting down here at half-back. They had to win the contest. They did, and Moroney out here as well, I think, is a kick that went under the radar. That was a bullet inboard, and they're going to get a shot. So they started slowly, first 5 minutes, Somerville, but they're getting some ascendancy back, but this needs to go through. You don't want to miss too many early.
G-man, he has hooked that.
Oh, boy.
And he won't even register a score there, Vossi.
That's the first commentator's curse, so proud of myself for that.
Jake Haskett.
Haskett's got it at half back, half forward, I should say. He goes towards...
Look at that.
Centre half forward, no mark taken, ball on the ground, an opportunity. Lockie Haskett on the right foot. He goes at goal and he misses. So they've missed a few early. They've had one behind and they've had 2 out of bounds, actually 3 out of bounds on the full and 1 point so far. So they've had 4 legitimate opportunities, boys, but haven't been able to put the score on the board. And we saw this of Somerville a couple of times last season. Inaccurate kicking cost them a couple of games, so they wouldn't want this to happen to them today, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jake Haskett's just putting his name forward as the one to watch so far. I reckon he's had 6 or 7 touches already, and all of them have been outstanding.
Big tackle laid there from Lockie Sharp. Ball going nowhere. Rowan David.
If you ask him that, he'll tell you, I made him as a bowler. Gave him a bowl in the fifths. He's now playing the seconds at Somerville. He made him as a bowler, I'll tell you.
It's the 2 rucks do battle.
He's not rocking the long sleeves bowling, is he, Fossey? Please tell me.
No, he's not. No.
We can see that we spoke about it early. Brendan Heed is going to do the second ruck duties, and Tom Roberts has just parked himself in the goal square. There's a free kick's given to Luke Rowe. He's going to switch the ball. He goes back. He's going to find his teammate there in Josh Young, but he hasn't. Or just.
I'd like to have seen the boundary umpire in a little bit closer. That had to, we're further away than what he was, but that had to be close to out in the full.
Very close. Walker Swain, he goes longer, looking for Brewer, just over his head. He runs onto it though, in the long sleeves, fends off one, tries to get around another. He just gets a quick kick forward, but standing all alone.
They're looking solid behind the ball, Chelsea.
Brad Clark.
Couldn't have been happier with this start.
He goes out wider. He's found his teammate there who's going to go in short, right in front of the scoreboard here. Reading 2 goals straight to Chelsea. Somerville 1 behind. That's a poor kick. Walker Swain has intercepted that. He goes in looking for Young. He's found him. Haskett's out here by himself. They haven't seen him just yet. They look to go further up the ground looking for Burton. Ball's just on his head, but Haskett's able to butter up.
Well, that's 8, I reckon, Daz.
Goes back.
Yeah, I reckon you're
Walker
right.
Swain on his left.
Geez, that's a handy kick on your left.
Ethan Mills with a good mark. He looks forward, looking for Marshall over his head. Quick kick there from Marcus Mantell. At a out on the full, and it looks like Sean Foster will do the relieving duties for Chelsea, Vossi.
4 out in the full. That was a little bit more difficult. He was on the left foot running away from goal and got pushed as he got rid of it. But even still, 4 out of bounds from the full and a point so far is not the way to start. The 2 number 29s went up. Jay Haskett went to get the ball down, but he was beaten to the ball on that occasion by Lexian Zibaris, who's taken the mark. He goes in short. Mark taken by Mitchell Brown. Just working their way around centre wing, right in front of the Somerville interchange bench and right in front of where we're also broadcasting, and the umpire says throw it back into play. Chelsea 2 straight 12 have played 11 and a half minutes in the opening quarter. Somerville 1 behind and 4 out of bounds so far for them.
They don't get a lot of love, defenders, but Josh Young there, that was an outstanding spoil. Left his man and came across.
Boys, how common is the name in a footballer, Mitch Brown?
Yeah, it happens quite a bit. The old West Coast player, the D and Bomber, currently at the moment. So.
Well, it's like at St Kilda. Like St Kilda, what was their common name? It's Jack.
Jack. I think they had 11 at one stage.
I was going to say 7 or 8.
Yeah.
It's a quick kick forward from Chelsea. Mitch Brown is the player there who ran onto it. And his teammate is absolutely dumped in a gang tackle. And Somerville will get a free kick. Kane McKenzie, I think, didn't even tackle him. He just picked the ball up and said, I'll take that. He goes in. Sean Foster just hacks it off the ground. Lockie Williams drops what he should have taken. Foster, quick hands to that player in Brown. It's locked in. Players are calling for a free kick. None coming. Rowan David will throw the ball up.
Cracker, have we got any scores early?
Yeah, a couple of early scores in Div 1. Frankston YCW 2 straight to Mount Eliza, 1 behind. Bond Beach 2 straight, 12. Red Hill no score. It's 1 point between Edie Asp and the Frankston Bombers, 9-8 to Edie Asp, and Dramana 2-4-16. Rosebud yet to score.
Dave Barton not
Sorrento 1 goal 7, 1-1-7. Pines yet to score.
Dave Barton was unable to take the mark there. I thought he was just out in his one-on-one contest, boys. And we'll get another ball up just inside the forward 50 here for Chelsea.
They're tightening up the clearances, Chelsea. They're winning the territory battle at the moment. They've got to make it count on the scoreboard.
Both ruckmen for Somerville are well on top. Paddy Nagel tries to get the ball forward. Quick kick through there from Racker. It's a great mark from Luke Rowe going back.
He'll do that all day if you let him.
Absolutely. He goes long. And he's found his teammate there with a great
want to be standing still as he's running towards me, let me tell you.
Absolutely. Sean Foster's been prominent early for Chelsea. Go up to a one-on-one. Siemens there. He just gets the ball forward for Chelsea. It's now inside their forward 50. He's going to win a free kick.
Hungrier for the contest there. Deserve that free kick. They got to score here, Chelsea. The scoreboard pressure, the longer this game goes on, is going to be more and more important.
He was able to get a handball off to Dave Barton, who then gets it on to Gardner. On his left, a player there right in the goal square on the line. Couldn't get any more dead in front.
Matthew Baxter.
And Baxter's going to kick the third goal here for Chelsea.
Worrying signs for Somerville, boys.
Yeah, absolutely worrying signs. The closer that Chelsea are getting the goal, the more lost Somerville look at the moment. I think that back six wouldn't want to be joining the huddle at quarter time with this kind of performance, but they're just not making it work in either arc. Their forward line's not functioning well at the moment. Vossi, you've talked about how they've kicked a few out on the full, but Chelsea are taking their chances. They need to do it all day.
Well, the scoreboard's got Somerville as a goal, and I don't think they've actually kicked one. Chelsea have actually kicked three. Krieger, McKinnon and Baxter, their three goal kickers so far, and the Seagulls are up and about here at Beardsworth Avenue this afternoon. They form up and down. They lost to Mornington last week, and this might be an on week for them, if you like. Every second week their form seems to change. They look to go forward once. It might be a free kick out of all that, actually. The umpire's given a free kick back on play, and it's going to go to Somerville. And defensive side of centre, the free kick will go to Nathan Gillis. So Nathan Gillis with the socks pulled up, goes towards half forward, it drops short. They're trying to finesse their way out of trouble, and they will not quite get their way out of trouble. That's a good tackle applied there by Jack Moroney, and the umpire says I'm going to ball it up. Centre half forward here for Somerville. They're one behind. Chelsea are 3 straight 18. We've played 16 minutes in the opening quarter. Premier traditional home scoreboard. Crago, any Division 2 scores?
Yep, in Division 2, early scores for you. Lang Warren 1-2-8, Mornington 1 straight 6, Seaford 2 straight 12, Hastings 1-4-10, Karingal and Crib Point all locked up at 13 apiece. Pearsdale 2 straight 12, Rye 1-1-7, and no score through yet from Devon Meadows Tired.
So we're not sure if that 100 plus is coming true for you, AJ, but I'm sure we'll get updated throughout the afternoon. They're out here, Chelsea.
They're on this afternoon at the moment. They're playing some good football, and I think Brad Canavan needs to get the boys in a quarter time and have a really good firm talking to them, because they are not near Somerville. Here's an opportunity for a shot at goal to take place, and just laid back on it a little bit and through for behind. Matthew Baxter is the player who missed that one. 3-1-19 plays one behind. And this is really worrying for Somerville.
Do you think the ground size is giving him a bit of trouble at the moment, Vossi?
I don't think it's necessarily the smallest ground known to man. I think it's bigger than Mornington, this ground, that's for sure.
I know that the run at Somerville and their overlap is and their spread with Paddy Nagel on the wing is I guess one of their really fundamental things that they try and bring each day. But as Moroney gets a quick kick on a sharp, he looks to evade a tackle, but he's escorted out and we're going to throw in.
They just need a goal to settle down. That's what they need at the moment.
Yeah, there's a feeling that if they get one, they might be able to string a couple together. But I'll tell you what, Chelsea's kicking inside forward 50 so far has been absolutely outstanding. Baxter deserved to finish his good work there, but whilst they've got the momentum, Chelsea, they need to keep scoring. So if they can get the ball away from here, they'll be all right.
They've got a switch play here because Tom Roberts is standing about 40 metres down the line, ready to take the mark, just blocking off the space. They look to go forward here through Todd Gardner. He goes out towards the centre wing. Now they go forward once again. Mark taken. They've got the loose man over the top now. They've just got to try and go long as they possibly can. They go towards the goal square. Can they get a mark down there? Ball has been knocked through for a behind. So 3-2-20 they are. Peppering the last few minutes. Chelsea 3-2-20. Somerville one behind. We've played 18 and a quarter minutes in the opening quarter. Premier Traditional Home Scoreboard. This is the match of the day thanks to Battery World of Mornington.
They were happy to have the spare up at the contest there, Somerville, because they had the spare back and were able to knock the ball over. That's what their back six needs to do. It's been a slow start, but I think they're getting it together.
Haskett goes long, looking for Tom Roberts, not able to take the mark. Dan Marshall intercepts it there. He gets a quick kick forward. He's going to win a free kick down the field. It's going to be taken there through the agency of Lockie Sharp.
So I reckon Jake Haskett who got that ball down. I reckon that's either his 9th or 10th touch by our reckoning boys.
Yeah, brought his own footy this afternoon, which is handy.
And there's going to be a 50-metre penalty here given against Brad Clark on Dan Marshall. And it'll be Somerville's first goal. They'll move on to 1-1-7. I'm already putting it down, boys. If you miss this, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I think you'd probably... the goal-kicking coach would need his salary doubled for the work they'd have to do during the week.
So 3-1-19 plays 1-1-7 here. Almost 20 minutes gone on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard. And Chelsea have been right on top early.
Yeah, can't afford to give consecutive goals away here, Chelsea. They just need to settle. Their clearance work hasn't been outstanding to start, especially out of the centre. Tommy Roberts is on top, so they need a clearance here and to win the territory battle. They don't want to give up late goals late in the first quarter. They've got a good lead here.
That probably wasn't a contender for goal of the day. Icon Sports Melbourne. They provide the custom clothing and social media packages. And your social, all your social media packages for your club. So make sure you look up on Facebook Icon Sports Melbourne as some will go into attack. Pack forms. Sean Foster's been able to get on the end of it. There was the play with the helmet in Mitch Brown. He's been prominent early, boys, but they've turned it over. That player who kicked the goal, Sharp, was looking for Ryan Gillis, who was standing at the top of the goal square, just pointing for it there, Vossi.
Yep, it's all of a sudden with that 50-metre penalty, all of a sudden Somerville just starting to get their hands on the ball a bit more as the mark has been taken.
John
Great
McGuinness
kick too. Sorry,
on
boys.
centre wing, so the long kick goes forward towards half forward. Baxter in front, couldn't take the mark, ball on the ground. A chance for a hand pass over the top. A quick kick around the corner towards the top of the goal square. Very good pick-up, but a poor finish on that occasion by the player in that man again, Mitch Brown.
I'll tell you what, Jake Haskett's been good, but Mitch Brown has been superb, and he's probably leading the Jones-Lupino best on ground. As Tom Roberts and Marcus Mantell just spoil each other, and they've turned the ball over in the centre there. Do Somerville. Chelsea go long. The player out the back. He's going to shoot for goal. Round the corner. Jake Haskett.
I think he heard you before, AJ. I think he wasn't happy with his name not leading the BOG, but geez, the defender, if you leave your man and you're going to attack the contest in the air, you've got to bring the ball to ground front of the stoppage, letting it go goal side. They were lucky to get away with that one there, Somerville.
I reckon Mantell got up with a little bit ginger, mind you, when you get hit by Tom Roberts. It's not exactly a small fellow, is he?
I wouldn't be getting up.
Have a look at the size of him.
I wouldn't be getting up.
As they're going to go out looking for that man in Tom Roberts. He gets the jukes up, not able to take the mark. Sean Foster just came off the back of the pack and left Dan Marshall standing there all by himself. He goes up long looking for Gillis, or also that player in Head. Chelsea are just going to get a clearing handball through. Dave Barton, he switches that to the player in Mitch Brown, who has had his own ball, boys.
Yeah, he definitely has. They got two spare back here, Somerville, so Chelsea are going to do this really patiently.
Lyndon Varaka with the ball goes in towards the centre of the ground. Mark has been taken by Jason Clark. Now, he's the milestone man today, isn't he?
Yep, 200 games.
Well done to Jason Clark. Fantastic effort on his part. Long kick to full forward. It's going to be taken away for Somerville, and a quick kick out towards half back.
That was poor. That was poor from Kane McKenzie. He just needed to take the mark and just settle down. They're under a lot of pressure, the Somerville defence, and yet He's just streamed out and had no Somerville player on that wing.
Kicked it straight to the spare. He had Todd Gardner out here on his own, and poor Toddy, I think his lungs would have had a good workout by the way he was screaming for the footy, but poor decision, but they've got the ball back here.
Their 1%ers haven't been good so far, the efforts from Somerville. They need to pick that up. They trail by 14 points on the scoreboard, 23.5. To attack. They're going to the Frankston end of the ground, and Somerville going to the Morty Alec end of the ground in the opening quarter here at Beardsworth Avenue.
Matthew Baxter was just unlucky not to get a free kick for a little hold on the arm from Kane McKenzie there. That's a big tackle against Haskett, who just gets the ball out. Umpire Rowan David is awarding a free kick to Chelsea. To be taken by...
I was actually expecting the free kick to go the other way, actually, boys.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't see that one, but I'll tell you what, if he kicks this, that puts it out to 20 points. And I think Somerville's coaching staff are going to have a quite a frank conversation. We don't want to use the word spray because you tend to have to apologise for those these days. But
No, Wiggy will give that, don't you worry. Chelsea 3-5-23. Somerville 1-2-8 here on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard. Travis Finn's going to do the kick-out duties for Somerville this time round. Got a couple of guys out here. He looks up the middle. Bit of a risky kick.
Lockie Haskett was the man who tried to take the mark at the back. He got the ball down. It's taken away by Marshall for Somerville. Gets it towards the centre of the ground. Now another kick off the ground by Marshall. He's trying to follow up his own ball. Good play. Gets a hand pass out, and that's a free kick, and it's going to go for holding the ball in actual fact against the man who was concentrating on the ball. He just ran into a brick wall there at the end and cost his side a free kick. Long kick out towards half forward. Going up, no mark taken. Ball on the ground. A chance now for the play there in McKinnon. Now quick kick forward towards the forward pocket. Goes over the line for a boundary thrown right forward pocket.
We give him a lot of love, and rightly so, Tommy Roberts, but he was in absolutely no man's land with that kick down the line. He should be swallowing those, but he was 10 metres further up the ground than he needed to be, and they can't afford to give one away late here.
We've seen AJ this year. I don't recall Tom Roberts having that bandage or the strapping on his leg.
No. Might have to look into that social media post from the VFL game, Vossi, to see if it was on there. But Somerville looking to go forward, but that man, Sean Foster, is standing there. A bit of a new role for him across half-back, more traditionally a midfield sort of wing role. McKenzie looking up the line for Lockie Sharp. He's not able to take the mark. He looks inside, just gets a quick handball off. Luke Rowe backs himself into a bit of trouble. The ball is just brought in by the Chelsea player there on the ground. We'll get a stoppage on the half-forward line for Chelsea Footy Club here. They're 3-5-23, playing Somerville 1-2-8.
They've got 3 spare behind the ball, Somerville. Don't want to give up one late.
Sean Foster's had a number of possessions early as well, Vossi. As the siren sounds to end the first quarter, Chelsea 3-5-23, Somerville 1-2-8 on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard. And that man, Brad Canavan, we spoke to him before the game, and
I reckon he's had a trim too.
We spoke to him and asked if things are going all right. We'll have a chat to you at quarter time. I don't think it might be the right time to approach him.
Yeah, if that's the criteria, I think that's a blanketed no.
I don't think so. But interesting quarter. Like Chelsea got to 3 straight, and they've hit the scoreboard 5 times since then, all behinds. You touched on it, Daz. They need to take advantage while they've got the control of the game. And look, they had the vast control of the game in that first quarter. Admittedly, Somerville 3 shots at goal, and I think 4 out of bounce. They scored in that opening quarter as well. So they had their opportunities, but Chelsea certainly had the better of it. But they just need to make hay while the sun shines, as it were.
To be honest, they're pretty lucky not to be, I think, 4 or 5 goals down Somerville at the moment, the way that Chelsea have played. And they're right on top. And what Somerville need to think is that they're only a couple of goals down.
Well, there's Suss, so we'll get to Suss shortly, but he's going to be listening into the Somerville huddle.
What we're going to do is we'll head to a station sponsor break, and we'll be back right after this.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Kevin and his lean team pride themselves on the finest cuts, from juicy steaks and roasts to high-grade mince and sausages. And Eliza Meats are the gourmet specialists. Inquire about Eliza Meats Spit Hire. Phone 9787 447. Mouth-watering meal fit for a king. It's all at Eliza Meats. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats 112B.
And welcome back to Chelsea, 3-5-23, Chelsea leading Somerville 1-2-8. To quickly, boys, some scores in the AFL in Brisbane. Giants 8-1-49, Brisbane 6-1-37 at quarter time. Into the second quarter, Geelong 3-4-22, the Crows 6 behind 6. Let's take a look at what we've got in the local Division 1. We've got Sorrento 1-1-7, Pines no score, Commander 2-6-18, Rosebud 1-1-7, Edie Asp and Frankster Bombers are still tied up, 5-5-35 apiece. Frankster YCW 2-2-14, Mount Eliza yet to score, Bond Beach 4 straight. We've got Hastings 4-4-28, Seaford 2-1-13, Langwarrin 2-3-15, Mornington 1 straight 6, Crib Point leading Karingal 3-2-20, Karingal 2-5-17, Rye in front of Pearsdale 3-2-20 to 3 straight 18, Devon Meadows 2-1-13, tie up yet to score.
What do you reckon the comments would be just on the Brisbane GWS game, Daz? We reckon the two coaches would be saying after seeing an 8-6 first quarter.
Well, I think the stereotypical thing to think is I think what Brisbane have got on their side is they've got so many guys that can score. Lincoln McCarthy kicked 3 in that first quarter, but you've got Hitwood, I think McStay's back this week. You've got Zorko who can go forward and kick a goal, and Charlie Cameron. So I think if the defensive structures are falling down, you've kind of got to go to Malcolm Blight in the 90s, just kick goals, kick plenty of them, and kick them quickly. So I don't think Brisbane is a team that would want to shut that down. And Mark McVeigh's got nothing to lose by going all out attack. So I think that one's going to be a genuine shootout.
Wing better. With 3, I couldn't tell who played mid screen. Right, 4 of you ran through mid screen. I've got no idea who played it. Alright, so that's on your mids. Tom, back through and dominate the corridor. Because you've got to head up there, Rucker, so you don't need to be there. So I need the 2 wingers,
but it's on Chelsea now, boys. I think they've landed the first punch, but the fight is not over by any means. And yeah, they were, I think, 3-1 from the first 4 scoring shots, and last 4 scoring shots being behind. So they need to land the first punch in the second quarter.
No real win to speak of out there, boys. Goals can be scored both ends, but we can just take a little bit of time over his board out there and just keeping his boys in the huddle and just sort of taking them through what they need to do and how they need to go about it. So we'll see how they go in the second quarter, but they ended with Ryan Dillis on the bench in that first quarter, so they had to change a few things around there, AJ.
Yeah, they certainly did. And I guess it's probably a little bit different that there's not many people here as he leaves the bench, so he's a bit renowned to have a bit of a talk over the fence in the games we've seen, Vossi.
Well, maybe the Mpnfl hasn't had a chance to see. Maybe AJ
Matty Baxter's gone to the goal square for Chelsea too, boys. Looked like he genuinely was going to rip the game apart in that first quarter, and he'll need to do more of it in the second.
Is Mitch Brown the new John Smith, you reckon, in the world?
In the footy world,
could
certainly.
be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He has had a good start. He's out here on centre wing.
As the second quarter is about to get underway here, both ruckmen are actually standing in the wrong side of the ground, so that's interesting to see.
It's a very ruckman thing to do, isn't it? We know that it's a big channel from the brain to the feet, so they've gotten it right, which is good.
As the ball's held aloft, you're going to start underway here, second quarter. Tom Roberts gets an easy hit out there to Nathan Gillis. He gets the hands off. Somerville just able to get it forward. Not able to get inside forward 50 as yet, though. Barton over the ball. He gets it dispossessed. Gillis looking forward for Sharp or Ryan Gillis. Ryan Gillis just gets up limping a little bit. Ball over the boundary line. We'll get a throw in.
He doesn't look happy, does he? A little bit of a limp going there. Fingers crossed he's all right.
Simon Mitchell-Hill's got the job on Ryan Gillis today.
Not an envious task, that one.
And ball just trickles out and we'll get another stoppage deep inside Somerville's goal.
You got to look at footy smarts sometimes, these two ruckmen. That boundary throw in just now was extremely short, so the ruckmen need to be moving upwards.
As the rucks do battle. And Mantell of the Marcus variety, who was doing the forward 50 ruck work, he's won a free kick, and that is a bad one to concede for the Chelsea ruckman because he's got the height on his size considerably.
He made it famous, the late great Danny Frawley, the old coach killers, and that's definitely be one of them, especially since Chelsea were inaccurate to finish the first quarter. They don't want to give this one up.
It's Marcus Mantell comes in, looking to get Somerville going in this second quarter. He steps up, straight through the middle. They get their second on the board, only a minute and a half into the second quarter. They move on to 2-2-14. Chelsea 3-5-23 on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard.
Not the start they would have wanted, Chelsea, but there's going to be plenty of time in this game to get one back. But it's the most underrated stat in footy, hit-outs to advantage. Tommy Roberts there to get Somerville up and going, did it magnificently. And if I was Chelsea, I'd probably have my third midfielder just behind that centre circle to stop a Somerville midfielder from walking out of the stoppage, as famously done by your Demons in last year's grand final, AJ.
Absolutely. As the ball's back in the middle, Barton trying to get a quick kick. He follows up. That man again, Mitch Brown, gets a handball off. Very prominent, Lockie Williams. He's dropped a couple of marks so far today. Davies dispossessed for Chelsea. Steps around. To Bradley Clark.
I think that's the message from the coach. You got to put in an effort in every contest, and he was just a bit late on it, Jakey boy.
He goes out wide. He's found Todd Gardner. He goes up the line. Big Tommy Roberts was just standing in the hole. Jack Moroney, he goes over the top, but he's going to turn the ball over. Kieran Albanese taking the mark. If I'm not mistaken, Vosky was a forward at Langwarrin, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
So you're surprised that he's not playing down there?
Yeah, the short answer is yes.
Do you reckon we've ever had 6 turnovers in 6 possessions, boys, just in that little chain there, playing kick-to-kick on the wing?
Well, it's certainly happened now, and what they've done, they've put Jake Haskett down forward, Somerville, so they're trying to use his ball-winning ability and his smarts. Brewer through the middle, but he's turned the ball over as well. Krieger, he goes out wide. Finding McKinnon, he goes over the top. It's a long way over there, boys.
Yeah, you got better eyesight than me, mate, to be able to figure out what's going on down there. I'm envious of that.
Goes up the line. Chelsea have got it just outside their forward 50. Dalasu Varaka. He goes in short and he's found Dave Barton just in front of the cricket nets here.
He's backing himself in here. I like it. It was very good last week too.
He goes in looking for Matty Baxter. That's a great kick, just getting over the top of the Somerville defence, and he's going to go back and line up for another goal.
There's a couple of shakes of the head on the Somerville bench as if to say, where was the defence then, boys?
I think I mentioned it was Varaka before, but it was Braden Chappell with the kick forward with the peroxide hair, and he's got his old man's height, doesn't he, Bossy?
The great Jason.
He was a great player.
That's a good finish too by Matty Baxter, who started forward. As we said at the start of the game, he's looking like the most dangerous forward by an absolute country mile, and a good settler for Chelsea. They didn't want to let this get out of hand, but they're back up by 15 points.
So Chelsea move on to 4-5-29, Somerville 2-2-14. Nearly 5 minutes played on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard here in the second quarter. Looking at the ruck battle, boys, you would think that Somerville would be well and truly on top in the scoreboard stakes with how far Tom Roberts is ahead in the hit-outs.
Yeah, you're kind of putting it on the half-forward line now to lock the ball in and get repeat stoppages, because the one time they were able to do that early in the quarter, they started with a goal. So
Roberts wins out in the ruck contest, but it doesn't go Somerville's way now. It does with a kick by Burton towards half-forward. It's a downfield free kick, I think.
I think the players were laughing at that one. I don't think there was much in it.
It is Marcus Mantell who kicked the one goal that Somerville have kicked in this second quarter. He'll take a shot from pretty much 45 metres out directly in front. Now, if we're going to call that a 45-metre line, he'll kick from basically right on the line. So he comes in, twirls the ball from hand to hand, steadies himself, kicks from right on the line, doesn't make the distance. In fact, he made the distance but was out of bounds in the full, so it was off target, and so the score stays at 4-5-29. Chelsea, Somerville 2-2-14, and we've played 6 minutes in the second quarter. Premier Traditional Home scoreboard.
That must be the fourth or fifth out of bounds on the full from a shot at goal for Somerville so far.
And I hope for those that are watching, so Vossi mentioned the twirling the ball in his hands. When he actually settled, his right hand was basically over the middle of the ball. That ball was always going left. I'm all for having the grip on the ball, but do it before you start walking in. It's a nervous tick that's a part of a lot of players' routine, and it's letting them down, and it did so on that occasion.
Sean Foster goes across goals. He's found Jason Clark. He's looking up for Albanese. He has 3 bites at it. He's going to win a free kick.
Geez, that's stiff.
Max King a few weeks ago, Daz, was one that they were talking about as twirling the ball. Last week he kicked 6 straight from 7 possessions.
He did well, Maxie, and it was a big occasion for him to do so.
That big man, Tom Roberts, takes the mark on the centre wing.
Could start calling him Rahul Dravid here. The man's a wall.
I'll tell you what, there's a few of them that have done it this year, Vossi, who we've seen. Macklin Rain did it superbly for Seaford. As the ball just trickles inside forward, 50 for Somerville, out in front of Walker Swain. He tries to paddle it forward, close to the boundary line, hasn't gone out yet. Lockie Sharp tries to break through, and he's dispossessed, and he's given away the free kick.
How many times do you reckon Tommy Roberts gets told to kick it on the 45 from centre half back? Do you reckon that would be a specific instruction?
The man can do what he wants.
Would you be instructing your ruckman to do that, AJ, if you were in the coach's box? That would be a no.
No. I was going to say with some of the Division 1 ruckmen that we've seen, Vossi, I'd be saying yes, like a Johnny Crode or a Billy Gertz. They've got pretty good ability hand to foot.
So certain ruckmen, you'd say don't kick it, just hand pass it.
Well, Johnny Crode almost plays as a 4th or 5th midfielder after he does the ruck work. So, but
Chelsea will clear. Barton it is. Goes out towards half back. The mark has been taken. And it's been taken there by Davies, who's got it. So Jesse Davies it is who runs. He goes towards the centre of the ground. That's a shocking kick. Waited too much. Mark taken there for Somerville. They can switch play out towards Haskett, but it was well done there on that occasion by Brad Clark. Now it's taken by Siemens it was, who goes towards half forward off the pack. A quick kick at goal is going to be not marked on the goal line. Should have let it go, didn't let it go, and it cost his side a goal there, Daz.
Geez, you got to talk to him there. You got to let him know that he's free and it's going through. It's hard to blame the forward there, because if that's going through the points and he lets it go, you probably get burnt. So they have to talk to him there. 2 hands
for beginners as well, AJ. Don't go one-handed, especially on the line.
Jake Haskett goes long looking for Ryan Gillis. He just out-muscles his opponent. He gets the handball off. He picks the ball up just in the one hand. He goes off to his brother Nathan. And
geez, that's not advantage.
An advantage has been given. Daniel Marshall just runs in the goal. And Somerville will get their third on the board.
Bit stiff there. Everyone had stopped expecting a set shot, but that's just good game awareness there. And this is more of the contest that we were expecting at the start, boys. Somerville slowly getting on top, but Chelsea have been able to ride every bump so far. So
Somerville 3-2-20. That's the advantage part that I really don't like. When the players stop, they should be made to go back and kick over the mark.
Yeah, we know it's up to the players to decide what's advantage or not, but surely when 42 or 35 blokes on the field decide that the ball is dead, it shouldn't be up to 1 out of 36 to decide it's not, but
so
it is what it is.
Secondary ball up. Tom Roberts just goes with a big fist. Liam Brewer's got his head over the ball. And we'll get a third stoppage. And I think we've moved an entirety of 3 metres closer to the Somerville goal.
Yeah, we know it's a territory nitpicking, I think.
Ball's just out to the back to Lockie Haskett. He goes forward looking for Sharp. A big pack forms here. The umpires picked out a free kick.
Clearances are starting to become a massive worry for Chelsea here. I reckon it's 4-1 this quarter, roundabout. The half-back line standing up okay, but those boys in the middle have got to start winning some ball.
Goes in short. He's found Dave Barton, who's had a stack of possessions already early. Good fist away there from Mantell of the Mitch variety, although Chelsea go into attack. Baxter in a 1 out. Almost takes the mark over Kay McKenzie. Braden Chappell's going to win a free kick for over the shoulder, and he'll go back and potentially line up for Chelsea's 5th goal.
There was a bit of Joel Sewell about that. Just
and
going down.
Umpire dissent, Vossi.
And 50.
He knew he was going to be tackled, and he just ducked the body.
Yep.
He just lowered the body to make sure he got a hit high, and it's going to be an easy goal, and it is a goal. Good game happening about 5 minutes down the road at Edithvale. Scores are Frankston only up by, I think it's 4 points in that game. Very close game, that one.
We've got some other scores from Crago in a second.
Just before we do, it's probably a good result. The free kick, we don't know what was said to constitute the 50, but Matty Baxter probably unlucky not to get a chop of the arm, so it evens out well. And we know we said about the advantage before. I'm really enjoying the way this game's being umpired at the moment. A couple of players have looked for free kicks that aren't being paid, and the less that the whistle is blown, I think the better exhibition we get. So I hope they keep it up. This has been a good start.
16 points is the margin here in the match of the day. It is a good start for Chelsea in this game. They've got to play 4 quarters if they're going to beat a side of quality of what Somerville are. So they've got to keep this going. But they're doing well on the scoreboard at the moment. They're trying to get the ball out. That's holding the ball. That will be holding the ball, and Somerville will get the free kick in the centre of the ground.
Jason Clark's gone into the ruck. I think what they're going to try and do, they've gone a little bit smaller. They'll try and run Tommy Roberts around.
Long kick to half forward. No mark taken off the pack. Ryan Gillis a snap. Oh, that's good. That is good. I tell you what, I was about to say that's not the greatest of kicks, but that was so smart because there's normally someone there in the vicinity where he kicked that. It wouldn't have got anywhere probably above the knee of the goal umpire. That's how low he kicked that. But it went straight through the middle. It was beautiful, beautiful thinking.
That's an Icon Sports Melbourne goal of the day contender, boys.
Good luck topping that. That's all I got to say. But you got to wonder in the middle of the ground how 3 midfielders were able to tackle the one Chelsea midfielder there. The midfield group have got to work together because if this gets out of hand, the game could get out of hand really quickly.
As the Rucks do battle, Roberts gets an easy win out, tap out, against Clark. Somerville midfielder just really getting on top. They're getting the ball forward. Moroney getting a handball out. Quick kick from Burton. They were trying to find Jake Haskett. He lays a big tackle. So does Dan Marshall. And we'll get a ball up at the top of the 50-metre mark.
Craig, you got some scores?
Yeah, the Pines 45, Sorrento 7, Dramana 27, Rosebud 21, 1 point, Edie Asp 48, Frankston Bombers 47, YCW 26, Mount Eliza 9, and Bond Beach 48, Red Hill 15.
Fossey, you've nearly just exploded.
Wowee. I certainly thought Pines would be a bit of a chance with some of the players Sereno have had out, but that is an amazing scoreline.
Unbelievable. And Nathan Gillis as well has nearly upstaged Ryan there with the goal of the day, but he pushed it wide.
Sean Foster, he goes in looking for, I think it's his brother-in-law, Todd Gardner, and he's found him. They be doing a bit of waxing, and they have. Back to Sean Foster. Ball.
You don't mind a bit of family stat padding, that's allowed, I think.
Chapper was looking inside. He goes down the line just in front of the scoreboard that reads 5-6-36, the home side. Chelsea playing Somerville 4-3-27 as Luke Rowe takes an intercept mark. He gets on his bike. He gets a long ball inside 50, looking for Ryan Gillis. Couldn't get to him. The ball's over the back. It falls to Ryan Gillis. He needed to give the hands there.
Didn't he?
He had Trav Finn out on his own. Needed to give the hands off.
The only person in the world appreciating that is Kevin Bartlett at the moment, and that's helping no one.
I'll tell you what, Sean Foster's had, I reckon, nearly 20 boys.
Yeah, he's been a star today, probably the best on so far, and Jakey Haskett's been a bit quieter this quarter, but geez, his tackling's been good for a bloke of his size.
They've got the ball down to the forward, almost to the forward 50 in about 5 possessions. They've got players out on this far side.
Poor old Kia and Albanese there just absolutely been burnt, so they'd want to hope this goes through. He was about 20 out directly in front for a good 5 seconds.
Shot on goal, goes across the face. Chelsea will get another behind, 5-7-37, playing 4-4-28.
Division 2 updates, Crago?
Yeah, Hastings 36, Seaford 32, Langwarrin 25, Mornington 9, Karingal 25, Crib Point 20, Rye 1 point in front of Pearsdale 2019, Devon Meadows 33, Tyab 8.
2 goals, 6 from their last 8 scoring shots. Chelsea, big gap into this game, and will they come to regret it? I can't wait to find out.
That was great body work from Sean Foster, just making sure Tom Roberts couldn't influence that as Mitch Brown took the mark.
Good luck picking between those two for the best on in the first half. Both been extraordinary.
Absolutely. We'll get a throw in just in front of the cricket nets here at Chelsea Recreation Reserve. The Rucks do battle. Roberts gets another hit out. And a quick shot on goal. Another behind. Chelsea 5-8-38, playing Somerville 4-4-28.
Well, they've gone from 3 straight to 5-8, so as Daz pointed before, they've put 2 goals in their last 10 scoring shots, so they've really wasted some opportunities here, and they should be probably 5 or 6 up at the moment.
There's just that feel that Somerville are going to go coast to coast here and kick a goal, which would be a real dagger for Chelsea because they've been extraordinary for the first quarter and a half.
Tom Roberts, who has been fantastic this afternoon so far, he goes with a kick down towards half forward. Meeting the sandwich here on that occasion was the play there in Lachlan Sharp. Ball falls to ground, a chance for Chelsea to clear, and they will, out towards centre wing. The mark has been taken. And it's been taken on this occasion by Fletcher Douglas, who goes with a high kick towards left half forward. There's a free kick. It's going to go here to Baxter. Matthew Baxter has kicked 2 goals. He's too far out to score, so he's just going to set things up. You would think towards the top of the goal square. In fact, he goes to the distance. In fact, he was a bit closer than what I thought, unless he got a little bit more than what I thought he got. But it's a point nevertheless. 5-9-39 plays 4-4-28. Margin is 11 points. And we've played 18 minutes in the second quarter, Premier Traditional Home scoreboard.
I agree with you. I don't think he had the distance in him, and hooking it left for that extra distance was the downfall. But we've said it once, we'll say it a million times. 2-9 from their last 11 scoring shots here, Chelsea.
Sean Foster just getting the ball at will. He goes out wide. They've come back inside the corridor to Barton. He goes back out wider. That was Spasoveski there. He goes in looking for a kick to his player there in Douglas, but it's over the head of him. There's just a wall of Chelsea players here at the moment. Dave Barton, he goes out wider. He couldn't have gone any further out wide to Todd Gardner. He goes on the run. He goes to the top of the goal square. But it's gone through for a behind. They've gone to 5-10-40. Somerville 4-4-28. Nearly 20 minutes gone here. Premier Traditional Home scoreboard.
They're doing everything right at the moment, Chelsea. They're just not letting it count on the scoreboard. If Somerville get one here, it's only a goal in it, and they'll have the last 10 minutes won't have meant as much because I think they're near 6 behinds in the last sort of 6 or 7 minutes here. So they need to set up a wall here and not let this go through.
As Moroney looked to play on, he's dropped the ball. He has to go on his left. He's looking for big Tom Roberts. He's starting to clunk a few. Ryan Gillis appealing for a free kick above the shoulder. He's going to give it a little bit of energy there. He just needs to concentrate on taking the mark, getting the goals on the board for Somerville, who are down here at the moment. That was better. He almost ran through the pack there, Ryan Gillis. Look at the numbers for Chelsea. It's just been that sort of day.
Yeah, it has to be deliberate if it's not a point.
Oh, you don't see that too often played in this competition, boys.
I don't mind that at all because he did go straight for the points, and the gap between the point post and the goal post is that big. You almost deserve to get punished for not putting that through.
This will be a dagger if Somerville score this goal, because Chelsea have had opportunities after opportunities to try and get a decent lead. One step, snap it, goal.
Jeez, that hurts.
Through for a goal, and it looks like it is, that's Paddy Nagle who put that one through for the goal. So that's his first for the afternoon, and that's their fifth, 5-4-34. They only trail Chelsea by a goal now at 5-10-40, and that does hurt.
It's enough to make you rip your hair out for Chelsea here, but they have ridden all the bumps so far, all the punches that Somerville have thrown, they've been able to cop, so they're definitely going to need the next one here because this could get ugly if they're not putting the score on the board.
Goal kicker was Walker Swain, Vossi.
It wasn't Paddy, okay.
I think you'll take it though, Paddy, if you just want to give him an honorary goal.
Well, he was the one celebrating most vocally there. That's why I said it was him.
Absolutely. As Chelsea look to go inside, forward 50 once again. Lockie Williams is starting to get his hands on the ball. He goes out to that man we're talking about, Paddy Nagle. Braden Chappell gets a quick kick forward, but he's turned it over. Luke Rowe trying to get through. He was taken down. Chelsea have been fantastic with their pressure.
Yeah, being able to lock the ball in, and we're going to try not to repeat ourselves too much, but repeat stoppage, keep the ball forward to centre, they'll be okay because they're starting to get found out across half-back here, Chelsea.
Hedden Spasoveski was doing the ruck work. The umpires found a free kick, which is going the way of Chelsea. Dave Barton, the recipient, he's been fantastic as well, boys.
Yeah, he's lifted, especially in this second quarter. Just needs to kick this to the forwards' advantage.
He's looking for Sean Foster, who's drifted over the back.
Geez, if anyone can kick it this quarter, he can. He's been enormous. Who wants to curse him? Who's going to say he's going to put it through? I've already done a curse today, so it's up to you boys.
He's a good man, Sean Foster. I'm not going to curse him.
All right, he's a beautiful kick of the ball, Sean Foster.
There we go. Of course you were going to do that.
Oh boy.
I would put money. I would put money on this.
Oh boy. Gamble responsibly.
I tell you
the curse is alive.
It wasn't too bad a kick. It just floated across the face of goal, just missed.
Absolutely.
So that's one each. You're up next, AJ.
5-11-41, 5-4-34. Chelsea lead here by 7 points. They should be further in with their score.
Pretty close to out on the full there. If I was the full back, I'd probably be going a bit more shallow there, but they're locking them in really well here, Chelsea.
Jake Haskett has it where he started. He goes out the far side, looking for Paddy Nagle. 4v1 at the moment. Paddy Nagle just getting the ball forward. If he can get a stoppage, it'll be a fantastic win for Somerville. Mitch Brown, Krieger. But Chelsea have gone in looking for Siemens as he dropped the mark. Dan Marshall has the ball for Somerville. He goes in looking for Tom Roberts, but it's gone over the back of his head. And Mitchell Hill takes a defensive mark. Albanese. He goes in short. He's found Brad Clark. He's got Cranwell in short. Doesn't go for him. He looks up the line.
Oh, good hands. Really good hands.
Good hands from Zibaris. That man, Dave Barton, once again. He goes long, looking for Sean Foster. That's a great mark, floating across the pack.
Speaking of blokes that have brought their own footy, although that's a stinker.
Oh, that nearly worked. Oh, I could see what he was trying to do. He had Matty Baxter out the back, but it just didn't get over the Somerville player's head.
I'm disappointed you didn't go with he was out the backstop, but that's all right, AJ. We'll have a chat about that at half-time.
Ooh.
2 minutes roughly to go in this quarter. Vital time heading up towards half-time. A goal either way is crucial, especially for Chelsea, because they've had a lot of opportunities and haven't been able to put it on the scoreboard so far. They've led all day, though. They are 7 points in front, but it's 7 straight behind. So they're in front by 5-11-41. Plays 5-4-34. Boundary umpire throws the ball back into play. And that's another tackle. That's Chappell again, who's going to take the free kick.
Keep doing it if they're going to keep paying it. If we're at a stage where we want a deterrent, well, all you got to do is call play on once and it'll go out of the game pretty quickly. But
admittedly,
I think that one was there.
I've said that he's probably lowering the body. He's not that big a body in the first place. They're probably just going for the body, and he's just realising that he's a bit smaller than most out there. But he's kicked one goal. He's kicked their goal in this second quarter. Can he kick two?
Here's your chance to curse him, AJ. We've all done one. You going to go with it?
No.
No? Okay.
No, not this one.
Interesting.
Shot at goal?
You absolutely should have.
I'll play my cards
Well,
when I need to, Daz. I'll play my cards when I need to.
I'll tell you what, that was missing halfway between the goal and the point post all the way through, and that has floated. I don't know how that's got in, but that's got in, and that's a goal, and that's a vital goal just before half-time, boys. Chelsea up by 13 points.
That had a bit of Pat Cummins to Joe Root at Headingley, I reckon it was, when he knocked him over for a duck with a beautiful in-swinger. That was magnificent.
AJ, I reckon you would have seen it, Daz. You wouldn't have seen this week. There's a ball that was bowled. The bloke let it go.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you ever bowled
in
that
county
one?
cricket, yeah.
Oh, unbelievable.
Speaking of county cricket, how's the 15-year-old that bowled Alistair Cook in a club game? That'd be a pretty handy memory for a 15-year-old.
Absolutely. The two rucks do battle in the middle of Chelsea Recreation Reserve. That was a great goal from Braden Chappell. He should have got a free kick there. But
he looks poleaxed. Or he got poleaxed, I should say.
You needed something like that when you were bowling a Gapesy a few years ago there, AJ?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Or catch to stick would have been a different story, but...
Are you talking about the Rosebud Toge?
I'm not saying anything. As
You're
Chelsea
a smart man, AJ.
Look to go forward through Gardner.
I think it was him that did drop Gapesy offshore bowling late than that first innings of that game too.
It's good to know we're not hanging on to it, boys. We've been able to move on from it very nicely.
Well, when you lose 4 in a row, you sort of don't really let it go, mate.
A little history note. As soon as that last ball was bowled, I reckon I was the first supporter out there. I bolted out to the middle, and I was the first supporter out there. What a great night that was.
Thank you.
But no, for us it was.
Oh, here we go. Oh, what a finish. No, just to the left. Oh, boy. There's a game of footy on out here, boys.
There certainly is.
Geez, he kicks that late. That would have pushed that out to a good 3-goal margin.
They lead by 1 goal, 8.
Yeah, 18 scoring shots to 9 here.
Volatile Vossi.
Oh.
Well, 3-12 since that magnificent goal on the boundary. So they've only got themselves to blame here, Chelsea, because they're doing everything else really well.
It's Burton. Has the ball in the middle of the ground and he's just dumped.
Geez, the tackling's been good today, if I can point that out. It's not a lot of broken tackles and they're all sticking, which is fantastic.
Tell you what, if you're Chelsea, you wouldn't want to lose this, because if you do and you kick badly, well, there's only one thing that's going to happen, AJ, and you know what it is.
I certainly know. I reckon it might even be a Saturday night rendition of Volatile Vossi.
Oh boy,
there might be a live one after the game when we do the recap of Division 1 and Division 2 scores, perhaps.
Sean Foster once again. He's out. He takes a bounce. He goes long. He tries to find that man in Baxter. Oh, tries to take a slip mark, but he drops that. And they've conceded another behind.
6-13.
Luke Rowe brings the ball in. He goes long looking for Sharp. He's got Gillis at his feet. And he's the man who kicks it inside forward 50 looking for Mantell or Roberts. Doesn't get to him. Good buttering up from Marcus Mantell. Trying to cause a stoppage. Marshall trying to break through. Roberts, he goes over the back looking for Trav Finn and he's going to run onto it.
Well, that was poor defence by Chelsea. Now, wasn't that far ahead of the opposition. He's tried to pick the ball up, trying to bounce it to himself and trying to get the ball back. Get the ball out of the area. Now Somerville are going to have a shot at goal. It's vital kick before half-time, and it's going to... Well,
going to be after the siren, Vossi.
Well, can I ask how this has ended up with an angled shot? Why isn't this directly in front? He's kicked the goal, but why wasn't that directly in front? He's marked that halfway between the goal and the goal post.
Good question. We don't really have a great line for the goal square line, so we'll trust the umpires there. It's a goal anyway. But
that was right in the middle, though, Daz.
Oh, well, hey, you got better eyesight than me, but I'll back you in. But the result's the same. Might have just got one wrong. But, geez, defending can be a lonely place at times. Simon Mitchell-Hill left his opponent, did really well, got dumped in the tackle, got back up, and they still managed to get a goal out of it. So it can be a lonely place, but making the right decisions, even if it's not the right outcome, is still what they've got to do. But a rip and half, boys.
Very, very good half. And at half-time in the match of the day, it is Chelsea 6-13-49. Somerville 6-4-40. Crago, we might get some half-time scores from you before we take a break and pay the bills here at the station.
Yeah, just quickly in the AFL half-time in both games, 10-1-61. Brisbane Lions 9-4-58. Geelong 9-8-5-53, Adelaide 3-7-20. Pine 7-5-47, Sorrento 2-2-14. Leaper Hockey shaved his head for last week's game. I think that's the fact he's pulling out too much air with their performance over the last few weeks. Dramana 3-10-28, Rosebud 4-3-27. Edie Asp 8-6-54, Frankston 7-7-49. Frankston YCW 7-3-45, Mount Eliza 2-7-19. And put your glasses down at Red Hill, Bond Beach 10-1-61, Bond Beach Hill 3-3-21. And quickly in Division 2, Hastings and Seaford's tightened up. Hastings 7-6-48, Seaford 6-2-38. Langwarren 3-6-24, Mornington 1-4-10. Crib Point 4-2-26, Coringal 3-7-25. Pearsdale 5-3-32, Rye 3-2-20. And Devon Meadows 5-3-33, Tyab 4-2-26. And we'll take a break.
Welcome back to the Toe Pun Footy Show. Joining us on the line is Hayden O'Connor from the AFL Southeast. Hayden, thanks for joining us. And there's the interesting at the moment about the under-19s options moving forward. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Firstly, absolute pleasure as always, and lovely to chat. In relation to the under-19s, I think it's important to give a bit of context prior to where we are now. So at the start of the season, we got some feedback from our clubs that the under-19 competition was going to be a bit of a struggle in terms of participation and post-pandemic players coming back to the club. So we investigated and put forward an extension to player permits and interchange agreements. And then after the first 5 rounds, we had a president's meeting, and I just canvassed with the presidents that it'd be a great opportunity to make a priority, along with a couple of other, challenges that we're facing to create to continue a sustainable underage senior competition was a priority. And I think it's important now, more than ever, to really open up our minds to what a sustainable underage competition could be. And is it an under-19s? Is it an under-18s? Is it something else? I think now's a great time to take a bit of a step back and have a look at what we can do.
And what was the feedback from the presidents when that was raised?
Yeah, they've been very proactive in terms of wanting it to be a discussion point, and I think now we're just putting a bit of framework around what that's going to look like. So in June, in June we'll start conversations with not only our presidents but key under-19 stakeholders, whether that be coaches or development managers. I look at some of our clubs and their football operations departments, and they have a head of development, but also really keen to get the thoughts of some player representatives as well, and find out what their reasons are to play, whether or not they're looking to continue on and play senior football, or some of the reasons that some of their mates aren't playing in the competition, and just delving a bit deeper into what, if anything, does need to change, and if it does, what can be made in the short, mid and long term.
We spoke about it off air with the guys here, especially with a club like Sorrento, where I've been involved with, and I guess Tyab at the moment are struggling for under-19s, Chelsea as well. Down the southern end of the peninsula, I guess people get to that 17, 18 years of age, and they get into a uni course, and it's easier for them to move to the city, and whereas somewhere like a Mount Eliza or Langwarrin, Seaford sort of area, they can still travel into the city and come back and play footy. So I guess you look at it like that for the southern end of the southern end of the peninsula with the clubs. But I've also heard as well that there's some big clubs out there that it's not just the under-19s where the issues may lie. It's the junior program coming through.
Yeah, I think each club, and this is what I'm really interested to find out, is the real pinch points across all clubs, and going through numbers, and that was the thing that really struck out at me was this year in terms of the competitive balance. But it's not a Division 1 or a Division 2 problem. I think it's a statewide one, and also for our region. So the issues that might be happening in the Southern Peninsula, I look at some Northern Peninsula clubs and having a look through their junior numbers, some of them don't have under 16s, don't have under 14s, they might have an under 15. So this is not a 1 year or 2 year review. This is looking to have a sustainable underage competition, because at the end of the day, our senior football clubs need a strong feeder and funnel from junior participation, and looking at what age group that is to introduce them to a senior football club.
And there's potential for possibly playing the under 18s or 19s, whatever it may be, like what Mornington and Dev Meadows did after the senior game, to perhaps capture the kids that have got to work Saturday mornings, whether they're doing an apprenticeship or they're working at the local grocery store or whatnot. It might give them another avenue to potentially continue on to play.
Yeah, I think we've got to be open to anything, but
so potentially, we've seen that Mornington and Devon Meadows this year have played their under-19s off the back of their seniors. Is that potentially something that we may look at of giving the clubs options and keeping these kids with a game of football, because they're having to they're having to work in the morning with an apprenticeship, or work down the local grocer to earn their pocket money, but that means they have to forego their football careers?
Yeah, we're very open to reviewing and seeking from our key stakeholders if that is a pinch point, if that's an issue, because for every action there might be an opposite reaction. So it might be great, and it might be all well for these under-19 fellas to go, we want to play Friday night, but then the volunteers, and these are the things we've got to canvass with everyone to get some data, both anecdotally and the numbers, to try and continue and grow a sustainable underage competition, because I think the results over the first few weeks haven't been conducive for that. And if we don't review it and show to our under-19 and our senior footy clubs that we're open to maybe changing, then I think we've got to be looking to move forward to help our kids becoming men, and then at what level they get into their senior football clubs, and to continue playing in the senior space.
No, and Hayden, I suppose I mentioned this, is where's the responsibility lie? I'm not trying to point the finger at anyone, but is it across the board?
Oh, definitely. I think we're all, and the same could be said about umpiring. It's a football challenge. It's a football issue. And for all those that are passionate about the game, I think it's all of our responsibility. It's the junior space, it's the senior space. It's at AFL Victoria. I think it's got to be a community effort to keep people in the game.
And I'm just mentioning that because you'll have the knockers out there saying, "Oh, people aren't doing this, people aren't doing that." But listeners, you've got to understand out there, one person or one group ain't going to solve this. Everyone's going to have buy-in and have skin in the game to get this off the ground. It's pretty simple.
Oh, exactly right. And I know firsthand that our clubs are very committed, and they obviously are very invested into making sure that not only their club but the league as a whole is sustainable for that competition, because it is so vitally important for a whole host of reasons. And I look at the community aspect of having young men involved in community sport, and we're preaching to the converted here about all the benefits that our local clubs and any local football club provide, but we want to keep them in the game. And it was just obviously seeing the participation rates at the start of the season, and then seeing the first five when we had the president's meeting, but 7 rounds, to see some of the competitive balance at the moment. I think it's a really important time to show our stakeholders that we're looking to maybe look at something different. And we might do this whole review, but if we have some data and some responses, and we keep it at the under-19s and we keep it at 10 o'clock on a Saturday, at least we're going to have something behind it to show that decision-making.
Yeah, well, that's a great thing for the competition and the clubs out there, knowing that everyone is being proactive in the under-19s or under-18 space. So just before we let you go, Hayden, Sam Confate's been in his role now for 2 weeks. Let the listeners and viewers know about what his roles have been in his first 2 weeks.
Yeah, so Sam's come in as the regional manager for AFL Victoria for the South East region. He out of university, was in the education industry at St Michael's Grammar, and then was actually my first boss at the Victorian Amateur Football Association, as he was the head of football and umpiring there. So he has a fantastic operational knowledge, but some of the things he implemented around the VAFA, especially around the women's competition as an example, he is a wonderful acquisition for us. Initially, he's come in to have a look at staff and how we can do things better, operationally and strategically. But I took Sam out to four games on Saturday, and it was great to see him and excited by the possibilities of not just the senior competition, but what we can do to further service our club. So looking forward to seeing what impact he can make and what we can make as a staff over the short and mid and hopefully long term.
Well, Hayden, thanks for jumping on the line and having a chat with us, mate. It's a great thing that the community can sort of not rest easy, but be assured that something is going to happen with this underage competition, and in the hopes of getting down to the point of what is best for the local competition. Once again, thanks very much, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you in the next coming weeks.
Thank you very much, and always appreciate the support of the Mpnfl. Thanks, guys.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Kevin and his lean team pride themselves on the finest cuts. From juicy steaks and roasts to high-grade mince and sausages, and Eliza Meats are the gourmet specialists. Inquire about Eliza Meats Spit Hire. Phone 9787 4473 for a mouth-watering meal fit for a king. It's all at Eliza Meats. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats, 112B Mount Eliza Way, a station sponsor.
Need your property painted, but you don't want to just trust any painter with your asset? Give Wow Factor Painting Solutions a call. We're based on the Mornington Peninsula and specialise in high-quality painting solutions. We are proud members of the Master Painters Victoria and the Dulux Accredited Program. For a free quotation, visit wowfactorps.com.au or call 0475 448 285. Wow Factor Painting Solutions, a station sponsor.
Battery World now open in Mornington.
We know batteries. We know our 75 D23Ls from our DIN 65 LHs. And we know which is best for you. We have the range and a spark no one else can match because we live and breathe batteries. Those beautiful boxes and cylinders that power our lives and our passions. That's why we're the batteryologists. We're Battery World.
Battery World Shop 1, 43 Mornington Tyre Road, Mornington.
At SJS Accounting Strategies in Mornington, our mission is a simple one: to make running your business easier. To get money-related challenges out of the way so you can focus on growing your business. It doesn't matter which business sector you're from, our commitment to helping you grow will be exactly the same. Why? Because our team loves helping businesses achieve their goals. Contact SJS Accounting on 5975 0488 or visit www.sjsaccountingstrategies.com.au. A station sponsor.
Dreaming of a cold beer poured straight from the tap? Tar Barrel Brewery and Distillery, located on Watt Road in Mornington, is open Wednesday to Sunday, offering craft beers and spirits produced on site, with local wines and cocktails also available. Come down and enjoy one of their famous wood-fired pizzas in the beer garden. A local taste experience. Tar Barrel Brewery and Distillery, the spirit of local. tarbarrel.com.au, a station sponsor.
And welcome back to Chelsea. It's getting ready for the third quarter. Chelsea lead Somerville by 9 points, and AJ, Vossi and Daz are ready to go.
Rowan David holds the ball aloft and start the second half. Two ruckmen do battle. Decisive hit out to Tom Roberts. Big tackle laid, but Somerville are going to win the free kick.
Geez, he was stiff there. The ball got knocked out in the tackle. The tackler wouldn't have seen that. Bit stiff there.
Nathan Gillis drives the ball in, looking for his brother Ryan. He's been pushed out. They're going to get a free kick. Ryan Gillis will line up for a goal within 30 seconds, boys.
Can we say this much? Obviously, we didn't hear word for word what was being said, but let's just say that Brad Canavan's given these boys the biggest bake at half-time. So expect a response in the first 10 minutes this quarter. Or you'd like to think you get a response anyhow.
I'll tell you what, Vossi, I heard a bit of it. No, I don't think it's coming on air.
No, I don't think that would get past any sort of censorship board or the
there was a few bombs in there, wasn't there?
There was.
Ryan Gillis has missed to the near side.
He's better than that too.
The Chelsea crowd are just getting a bit more vocal behind the goals.
6-5-41 Somerville, 6-13-49 Chelsea. Premier Traditional Home scoreboard. Spisevsky with the ball. He goes with a high kick down towards Baxter on centre wing, goes up, third in line, couldn't take the mark. Ball on the ground, trying to work the ball forward. That's not going anywhere. The umpire says I'm going to ball it up. Right in front of where we're broadcasting this afternoon here at Beardsworth Avenue. Beautiful day for football. Late autumn. Just about in winter, believe that. Oh, the time has absolutely flown.
Big fist to Tom Roberts. Sean Foster tries to do the same. Morodi just paddling the ball forward. He then lays a good tackle. No Free kick coming, and we'll get a throw in.
Sometimes you've got to go with the obvious, boys, but the first goal here, if Chelsea can land this blow, what a start it would be. If Somerville kick the first one in their response that they're going to need, they might kick a few. So it's on Chelsea here to stem the bleeding that hasn't even started yet.
Young down the line looking for Sharp. He's not able to take the mark. Intercepted there for Chelsea. They look to go towards Mitch Brown. But he's able to spoil the ball, almost helping his team go forward, but then it's turned over. Luke Burton with a big mung that goes forward then backwards. Lockie Williams is driven into the ground by Todd Gardner, and we'll get a stoppage just to the right of the centre circle here at Chelsea Recreation Reserve. 6:13:49, 6:5:41 Somerville. 8-point lead to Chelsea.
And Spasevsky in the ruck has tackled, and the umpire says, I'm going to ball it up once again.
Not the easiest one to say, Vossi.
No, it's actually not when you're trying to say it quickly and your tongue gets a little bit tired there, but that's all right. We're through that. Long kick towards half forward for Somerville, off the pack. Chelsea have just got to try and defend hard here, and, well, after the words that Brad Canavan still have ringing in their ears, they need to respond here, Somerville. They're only 8 points down on the scoreboard. You didn't go 8 goals down the way he was going about it there, but I suppose every now and then you got to do it, and if it sharpens their focus a little bit, I guess it's all worthwhile. Time will tell whether it does sharpen their focus. Kick inside, attacking 50. Going back, not taking the mark there on that occasion was Fletcher Douglas. Ball on the ground. Haskett gets the ball out towards his teammate there, and Big Tom Roberts, who takes the mark. The man most famous for shearing the Rams. He goes in short. The mark is taken, and it's been taken by Luke Burton. As Daz said, first goal is crucial in this third quarter. Somerville looking to load up. They go through McKenzie in towards the forward pocket, towards Gillis. Ball knocked away from him, and the crowd just giving Ryan Gillis a bit of a Bronx cheer, I think, out there, boys.
Absolutely. Mitchell Hill's done a fantastic job on him.
Yeah, apart from the dribbling goal, the goal of the day, thanks to Icon Sport, he's been pretty quiet, Ryan Gillis. So, yeah, I think he's done a magnificent job, and they don't get a lot of love for the defenders. It's a thankless task, but he's been magnificent.
Ball just outside Somerville's forward 50. They're looking to go back inside. Dan Marshall gets a quick kick forward, looking for Lockie Sharp. We'll get it's gone over on the full. We'll see which way it's going to go. It's going to go Chelsea's way.
It's going to be difficult for them to clear here. Josh Young has positioned himself as a spare man behind the ball in the middle of the ground, so he's got bases covered whether they go down the line or they try to switch it. So they've got to be smart with their ball movement here, Chelsea.
You mentioned the Icon Sports Melbourne goal of the day. Icon Sports Melbourne provide customised clothing for your sporting club and workplace. They also look after your sporting club's social media with fantastic graphics, as well as a range of sporting equipment available to you. Find them on Facebook at Icon Sports Melbourne. So the ball's up just in front of the scoreboard. Big tackle applied from 2 Chelsea players. We'll get another stoppage on the far wing here at Chelsea Recreation Reserve. 6:13:49 plays Somerville 6:5:41 on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard. Todd Gardner is able to extract it from the contest, but he's kicked it straight to Kane McKenzie. He's going to go in short to Jake Haskett. He goes looking in the middle for Burton.
I think he did push off a little bit high. I don't mind the show of strength, but you've got to put your hand in the right area. So they've got to convert here, Chelsea.
Reverse the decision, and Todd Gardner's got it. He goes in short. Mark taken about 40 metres out from goal. Now another chip pass, and the mark will be taken by David Barton, who's in the left forward pocket. He'll kick from about 35 metres out. He's in the left forward pocket, and this is a vital kick in the context of the game. The margin is 8 points. It's 6 goals each on the scoreboard. It's at 13 points to 5 points is the difference. 6:13 to 6:5 in favour of Chelsea. Can they get the first goal of this third quarter and trying to build something on top of this? Huge kick. Has the shot and misses to the near side. 6:14:50 plays 6:5:41. 7 minutes played in the third quarter. Still waiting for our first goal in the third quarter, boys.
Somerville are playing with a man behind the ball. They got a bit caught out with that reversal, but clearly they're trying to launch off half back, even though the midfield's been pretty dominant. So keep an eye on that, and Chelsea have got to be smart and lower their eyes.
Brewer goes up looking for, I think the player is Mantell there, Marcus.
Good hands.
Ryan Gillis gets a quick kick forward. Big fist away there. It goes into the corridor. Nathan Gillis picks it up. He's on his opposite foot. And he's turned it over. And the man who has absolutely dominated this game, Sean Foster, is able to take a mark. He clears with a great kick. McGuinness. He has it spoiled from him. Harrison Paul goes long, looking for Ryan Gillis. He's pushed out of the contest. Quick clearing kick from Chelsea. Up into the middle of the ground. McKinnon there for Chelsea. He's going to win a free kick for over the shoulder against Burton.
Chelsea player coming to the bench. He's not in a good way there, boys.
He's got a bit of a hobble, which is not what we want to see.
I think he might have caught one in the marking contest there.
I think he might have caught one in the place that you only laugh at if it's not you that's being hit.
So Sam McKinnon. He's got the ball. He goes. He's found that man, David Barton. I'd love to see how many possessions Barton and Foster have had. Throwing Gardner as well.
Speaking of, he wants this, Gardner.
He's gone out wide. And he's going to
well
get a
done.
free kick.
Professional free kick. Just kept falling into the defender, and the panic was due to come in. And it did. Probably a little bit stiff, given both players were falling over, but you can't drag your opponent with him. So potentially a bit unlucky there, Mitch Mantell, but a really professional free kick by Gardner. And geez, they need the first one here, boys.
I tell you what, if Brad Wiggy Canavan wasn't steaming from his halftime spray, he would be after the last couple of minutes.
He must be tucked on the other side. I can't actually see Wiggy where he's standing there at the moment.
Todd Gardner lining up. About 40 out. Goes at the right goalpost. Just comes around.
Oh.
The right decision.
Top of the goalpost.
I think that went over the goalpost. Yeah, I think that's right.
I was of the opinion it looked like a goal from here, but bit of controversy, Michael Voss.
6 goals, 16. Tell you what, you wouldn't want to get this. You wouldn't want to lose this from here, Chelsea. Volatile to be out, I'll tell you.
Paddy Nagel, he's gone the one hand.
No.
Harrison Paul, he gets a quick kick forward. Ryan Gillis from behind. Maroney does the crumbing. Out to Lockie by a number of Chelsea players. And they'll get a stoppage. Just outside the Somerville forward 50. I think Paddy Nagel would probably want to have his opportunity again, Vossi.
Yeah, not sure what he thinks his right arm was being used for, but going at the footy might have been the best option there, but he'll be better for it for the next contest.
And Ryan Gillis has given away a silly free kick.
It's the third free kick he's given against in this quarter.
Sorry, I don't think it was. I think it might have been Lockie Sharp there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Clark for
Ryan.
Chelsea.
They have struggled to get the ball this down the line kick, although that's a bit of a scrub, so that might actually work to their advantage. Yeah, there you go. Tommy Roberts can't believe it.
As Chelsea, their run is continuing. Go inside forward 50, just looking for Baxter, but it was sat on his head. Big fist from McKenzie. Baxter gets the ball back. He goes over looking for
kick.
Chappell.
Oh.
He's not able to find him.
$50. I'd love to know where that descent came from, because we heard a lot of noise down here. We're quite close to the Somerville bench. That's the second goal from 50-metre penalties for Chelsea today, and that just opens up a bit of a gap.
I think we'll leave that one just there.
So the goal kick there, boys. Sorry, I missed that one.
I think Braden
Chappell
ends up with it.
That's his third goal.
It's been crafty around the goals today. They've been...
Tell you what, you've almost at the moment got to put him. Like if he kicks 5 in a low-scoring game and they win, you could that elevates him a little bit in the votes, in my reckoning, anyhow.
Oh, it does. I think Sean Foster's just been absolutely dominant so far, and he's set it all up as Chelsea look to go with an attacking option already. McKinnon just pushes Luke Rowe under the ball, but he's able to get it towards the boundary line for Somerville.
They lost the first 3 centre clearances of the game, Chelsea, and since they've kind of been able to even it up. Out in the second half with a plan, they're executing it very well. The panic buttons aren't quite pushed for Somerville.
Another behind. They move to 7-17-59. Somerville 6-5-41. Where's the next Somerville goal kicker coming from, boys?
Well, their main man, the G-man, is on the bench.
Which would be a problem because he looks the most likely, although he has been held magnificently.
That kick from Burton is turned over. Lockie Williams not able to take the mark. Sean Foster picks it up. He goes over to McKinnon. He's got Mitch Brown in the middle, but he doesn't find him.
Oh, downfield.
And they're going to get another goal here, Chelsea, for down the field free kick.
Are they going to give that?
I don't think you can pay advantage.
Oh, they have.
Oh, they have. There you go.
8-17-65.
Can you do a commentator's
6-5-41.
Sorry, AJ. Can you do a commentator's curse to an umpire decision? I know you can for goal kicking, but I think that's absolutely what's happened there. And panic buttons, yeah, they're starting to get pushed for Somerville now. 8-17 would very well be 7-8, and it would already be game over. So
3 goals to Baxter, 3 goals to Chapel for Chelsea. That's just to say the words that Brad Cannon would have had to be signed at half-time have fallen on deaf ears, it seems, because Chelsea have come out and kicked only 2 goals so far in this, the third quarter. Anyhow, Tom will tell still plenty of time left in this game. Gardner, a hand pass out towards Clark. It's a free kick back on play. It's going to go to Todd Gardner. The super player that is Todd Gardner of this Chelsea Football Club. He goes towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Ball on the ground. Mitch Brown knocking it forward. There's a quick snap at goal. It's going to be not quite kept in play. The ball goes over the line ahead of Luke Caspers. Over the line for a boundary throw in. Chelsea 8-7-65. Somerville 6-5-41. We've played 14 and a half minutes in this, the third quarter, and yeah, could be that too. But I just wonder what sort of margin do you reckon that Somerville will be comfortable chasing in the last quarter, boys? Because at the moment they need to do some work in the last 10 minutes or so in this third quarter.
Yeah, they really do. If they can get the ball out here, it'll go out of bounds. Yeah, it's a good question. How much leeway do we give them before we admit it's not their day? I think it's probably too early here, but
I think it's anything under 4 goals.
There you go. So that's where we sit at the moment. So it's up to you. Well, the question now is, Somerville, what have you got? And if the answer's not much, we're probably looking at their chances deeper into the year.
Nathan Gillis goes to the centre half forward. He looked there for Lockie Haskett. And Somerville going to win a free kick over the shoulder.
Unfortunate, he slipped, but you live with that if you're Chelsea. If you set up properly behind the ball, you can. You might be able to stop this if he doesn't have the leg.
Lockie Williams is going to back himself here.
And for those that are just joining us,
play on.
And for those that are just joining us, AJ hasn't had a commentator's curse yet. Rossi and I are done, so it'll come up somewhere. And we're getting deeper and deeper into the day, AJ. So you're on.
And a down the field free kick is being paid here to Somerville, so they'll have a shot at goal. Looks like 8-17-65, plays 6-5-41, 16 minutes gone in the third quarter. Premier Traditional Home scoreboard.
The Kickstarter, if you can't do it.
6-6-42, plays 8-17-65.
I think the amber fluid's just taking its toll down the back there, Vossi.
I think it definitely.
Friends 41-point leaders over Sorrento. Germano 1-point leader over Rosebud. Frankston Bombers lead EDS by 10 points. It's 54-33 in favour of YCW. and Bombay 68, Red Hill 33. And just quickly in DIV2 for you, Langwarrin 36, Mornington 22, Seaford 81, Hastings 55, Karingal 41, Crib Point 38, Bearsdale 66, Rye 23.
Well, that has to be 50.
This has fallen. Sorry, Craig. This has fallen apart for Somerville now.
Just that last score, boys. Devon Meadows 53, Tyab 32.
Ryan Dillis had the ball. He went to give it back, and he threw it back past the person that was supposed to get the free kick. So there was only one choice in that, AJ.
Absolutely. Doesn't need to happen.
Pretty poor kick going inside 50 there. Either hit the top of the square or aim for over the goal umpire's hat. Anything in between's no man's land and really easy for the defender.
Haskett brings the ball back in.
It's probably picky because they're 4 goals up, but anyway.
It's made its way up just past the half-forward flank there for Chelsea. We'll get a throw in on the far side. Nearly 18 minutes gone in the third quarter. 8-18-66. Playing Somerville 6-6-42. Big Tom Roberts butters up his work. He's tackled and we'll get another stoppage.
Geez, he's working hard, Tommy Roberts. He needs a few teammates to go with him, especially around this midfield. They should be having a lot more dominance than they are in this quarter. Look at that.
Clear hit out, but Burton's dispossessed. Chelsea go inside forward 50 looking for Baxter, but a big fist away by McKenzie. Foster doing the crumbing. He goes on his left.
Well done.
And that's a mark there to Davies. And he'll line up for Chelsea's 9th goal or their 19th behind, boys.
This is going to make it really, really strong on the scoreboard at the moment. Whilst not in position, there's still plenty of time left, Az, but this is going to make it a really strong lead.
Well, it's just a credit to Somerville and how well they are that we're still claiming that they're in the contest, because everything so far that's going on, especially in this quarter, tells us that they're nearly out of it. So they've got to land something quickly.
Davies has the shot, and
That's
Davies puts through the goal. Chelsea are up by 5 goals here in the match of the day. We're just about to hit time on in the third quarter. It is Chelsea 9-18-72. They're going away here from Somerville at the moment. The Somerville boys have got to find something. 6-6-42, Premier Traditional Home scoreboard.
Do you think when we sort of gave our predictions at the start and I said that Chelsea will get off to a hot start, do you think at some point I should have said Somerville will fight back? Because I think they forgot that bit.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. The Somerville crowd there's a deafening silence at the moment. And I don't think they're overly pleased with some of the decisions they've been faced with so far in this quarter, but they've won a free kick there through Harrison Paul.
Ooh. Tell you what they have struggled to do is hit targets inside 50. They're not kicking a lot to guys on the lead or to their advantage.
Chelsea just crumb the ball in their defensive 50. They get a quick kick looking for Barton. Somerville try and break through the tackle there. That'll be holding the ball. And another free kick to Chelsea in their defensive 50.
You don't want to call it, but we're just getting ever so closer to a massive boil over.
One more, and I think that's almost too far for Somerville going into the last quarter. Chelsea have been able to switch the ball.
Watch for Chappell down the line. He's got his opponent beaten by a few metres.
Krieger, he goes up.
Just couldn't get it to him.
Mantel tries to get the mark. He lays a big tackle. I don't think the players knew what was going on there. They just stopped. The ball goes into the centre looking for Foster. He gets a little toe poke out. And he gets the run. He goes on his right with a high kick looking for Baxter. He wants him to jump at the ball. Picked up by Young. Turned over though. Quick kick by Chelsea. Going inside forward 50. And a throw up.
Big
throw in, sorry.
here.
Just as a young fellow. He's giving you a bit of advice, Fossey, I think.
It's another fan.
Ball thrown in. Roberts doing the ruck work deep inside Somerville's defensive 50. Another goal here to Chelsea. It's just about all over. Gardner getting a quick kick, but it was turned over.
There is no one down the line here for
Paddy
Somerville.
Nagel for Somerville. Haskett by hand to Burton once again. He'll go with another hand to Haskett. He has a bounce. He goes up to the wing. He's looking inboard. Just wants someone to come at the footy. Clark was pickpocketed by Krieger, his teammate. They go out wide. They've found McKinnon there. He goes on the left looking for Gardner. He can go over his brother-in-law there to Foster, but he chooses to go down the line. And that'll be 50 metres.
Almost 50.
Correct decision there against Luke Rowe. Just didn't need to happen.
Chelsea player took the mark and he pushed him straight into the ground.
Yeah, extremely undisciplined. This is falling apart, boys. If Somerville can get one and stop this from going through before the break, you beauty, but if not, we're in trouble.
Frankie Gallagher's has popped his head in the caravan.
Master Suss, a great man.
So Chelsea looking for their 10th goal of the afternoon. They're 9-18-72, playing 6-6-42 currently.
Apparently it looks like Russell Crowe too.
So he says.
Somerville want you to commentators curse this, AJ, but it'll be too late.
And another behind.
Didn't need to in the end.
9-19-73, 6-6-42. Boys, we got any Bridgestone Selective Mornington marks of the day contenders so far?
Matty Baxter in that second quarter. Out here with the 2-on-1, definitely a contender. Just used his body really well as we get a... Oh, no, not paid too high to Chappell there. That's probably the one that stands out for me. They don't even look like scoring at the moment, Somerville. They don't look dangerous forward of the contest at all.
Roberts getting another decisive hit out. Burton just driven into the ground, but no free kick was forthcoming. It's becoming more frustrated, the Somerville players here. Tap out going to McKinnon. He's dispossessed, and that is holding the ball. Lockie Williams. He's been quiet today, hasn't he, boys?
He has.
Chelsea player still down here, boys.
Left shoulder injury.
The free kick is being reversed here.
I wonder if it was for the sling tackle that happened just after the free kick was paid.
Spasevsky with the ball.
Mitch Brown goes long. He had players out. He didn't find him. Baxter over the back. He goes over his shoulder. Top of the square. Barton going to try and create a contest. And he's giving away a free kick. Young for Somerville standing under the high ball. He gives the handball off. Haskett, he's in trouble here, but he steps his opponent. Going down the line. But he's going to turn it over. Baraka taking a good defensive mark. Chelsea have got it right half forward. They're going to go into attack once again, looking for that man Baxter against about 4. Provides a good contest. Mitch Brown tries to do the crumbing work. Nothing coming. Ball just spilling out. The umpire's found a free kick here, and it's going to go to Somerville for a throw.
Got a Chelsea player with an ankle injury coming off here, boys. Can't quite see who it is.
Davies,
there he goes. Been pretty good today, so fingers crossed he's okay, but he couldn't really put any pressure on that left ankle.
Nathan Gillis goes out wide. Mark spilled to Young, but he's won a free kick for too high. It's just not happening for Somerville today, boys.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. Even if they can kick one, you kind of give them a sniff, but time's running out. Surely only about a minute left, if that.
It's a quick clearing kick from the contest. Looking up there for Lockie Haskett. He's not able to take the mark. That man Foster once again. He goes forward. He was looking for Brown. Wasn't able to take the mark. Ball goes out. And we'll get a throw in. The right forward flank for Chelsea.
I know we've talked up Sean Foster, and so we should. He's been good, and Todd Gardner's been really well. But the pleasing thing for Chelsea is they've had contributors across the entire contest, whether they floated in and out of the contest or they've been consistent across the day. There's not many that can walk off the ground dissatisfied with what they've put up so far.
Luke Burton fends one, fends two. Tom Roberts has an airy. Chappell.
The Ruckman special.
There's a free kick given. The advantage has been paid. Baxter and McKenzie do battle. Mantell gets a clearing kick for Somerville. He goes up looking for that man, Tom Roberts. Over the top was Lockie Sharp there. Not able to take the mark. Haskett. Young. He's found Nathan Gillis. He can roll. He's gone to Moroney, who steps.
Well done.
Goes through the middle of the ground with a chiseler. Looking for a target, but Sean Foster was getting back. He just gets a clearing punch. Somerville still with possession. Although Chelsea have been able to maintain a bit of 50-50 there.
Bit of Chelsea carnage here, boys. Two very slow to get up, I should say.
I reckon you'll find then, AJ, that Foster actually punched the ball away from his own teammate.
They just wanted to get it forward, Vossi, I reckon. Just clear that dangerous spot. And I tell you what, that's the end of the third quarter. 9-19-73, 6-6-42. Are we calling it, boys? Do you reckon the fat lady's just warming up and starting the vocals?
I surely can't jinx it in the debut, so I'll say first 5 minutes of the last. We'll see what's happening, and then I'll call it.
Yeah, I look, it's very close to being called, and I could feel the tremors just starting to mount around here at Beardsworth Avenue, but at the moment, can't quite call it just yet.
As we go to a station sponsor break, Chelsea 9-19-73, playing Somerville 6-6-42.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Kevin and his lean team pride themselves on the finest cuts, from juicy steaks and roasts to high-grade mince and sausages. And Eliza Meats are the gourmet specialists. Inquire about Eliza Meats Spit Hire. Phone 9787 4473 for a mouth-watering meal fit for a king. It's all at Eliza Meats. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats, 112B Mount Eliza Way, a station sponsor.
Need your property painted, but you don't want to just trust any painter with your asset? Give Wow Factor Painting Solutions a call. We're based on the Mornington Peninsula and specialise in high-quality painting solutions. We are proud members of the Master Painters Victoria and the Dulux Accredited Program. For a free quotation, visit wowfactorps.com.au or call 0475 448 285. Wow Factor Painting Solutions, a station sponsor.
Battery World now open in Mornington.
We know batteries. We know our 75 D23Ls from our DIN 65 LHs. And we know which is best for you. We have the range and a spark no one else can match, because we live and breathe batteries. Those beautiful boxes and cylinders that power our lives and our passions. That's why we're the batteryologists. We're Battery World.
Battery World Shop 1, 43 Mornington Tyre Road, Mornington.
Back to the RWPFM coverage of the Mornington Peninsula Football Netball League. We're at Chelsea this afternoon, and Chelsea in front by 30 points at three-quarter time. Just before we go back to the boys, we've got some great vision there too from El Presidente, who's at the Chelsea huddle. You can hear some of the talk that's going on there. And just to tick quickly, boys, Division 2, Hastings 68, Seaford 82, Langwarrin 43, Mornington 28, Kringle 55, Crick Point 38, Peacedale 86, Rye 42, Devon Meadows 79, Tyab 38. And in Div 1 for you, we've got Pine 63, Sorrento 18, Dramana 55, Rosebud 39, Eddie Asp 72, Frankston Bombers 92, YCW 80, Mount Eliza 38, Red Hill 33, Bond Beach leading 75, and I think Brisbane and Geelong are up in the AFL. Back to you, boys.
3 out of 3 so far. I'm on fire. What a terrible year it's been with the footy tipping. But
it's all downhill from here then, Mossy.
Oh, I know. Well, I have picked Hawthorn tonight, so hopefully we've got us on a good week there, Daz.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. It's going to be a good one against the Suns, but we saw that footage earlier of the Chelsea huddle, and what a happy huddle that will be. But surely the message here, boys, is the job's not done, because if Somerville are allowed back into this contest, they've got the quality to run them over. So the first 5 minutes of this last quarter is going to be ultra interesting.
Like Daz, I'll give them 5 minutes in this last quarter, Somerville. If we see nothing from them on the scoreboard, I dare say the game is over.
Daz, the trendsetter. I'll take it. AJ, what do you reckon, mate? Is this one done? Are you calling it 100%?
The way that the game's been played so far, I think it is. But if Somerville are going to be a contender this year, then they need to seriously prove to the viewers and the listeners that will be the case, and they need to pile on some pretty quick goals here.
Yeah, 6 goals in 3 quarters, and they're probably going to have to kick 6 in the last to get over the line. It is a hard task, and yeah, you're probably looking at Ryan Gillies the most to sort of break effectively the tag that's happened all day today, and they've done an outstanding job, the whole back 6 for Chelsea.
What was the Dramana Rosebud score?
Dramana Rosebud score was Dramana in front by 14 points.
What are they goals behinds wise?
7-5, 55, 7-13, 55 Dramana. Rosebud 5-9, 39.
Okay. Yeah, no, Chelsea have. I don't know what's going on with the kicking, because it hasn't been that bad a day weather-wise.
Pleasing, if you are Chelsea, that the thing that we can pick on them the most for, if you could say, or pick apart, has been the goal kicking. So yes, they'll need to work on it, and that's good to see that they'll have things they need to work on. But of all the things to work on, I think that's going to be the one that makes them the happiest, because it's a good result so far.
The start of the last quarter here at Beardsworth Avenue. It is a 30-point lead in favour of the home side in Chelsea. They're 3 goals, 12 in front, so 9 goals to 6. You think, yeah, right, reasonable game, close game, but it's those extra points that are going to be the insurmountable hurdle, you would think, for Somerville, unless they can do something major in this last quarter. Umpire Rowan David with the ball, throws the ball up, and where's the response going to be from Somerville to start this last quarter? Ryan Dillis again starting on the bench as the ball is knocked down. A chance now for a quick kick by Barton. It was towards half forward, Mark taken. And it's been taken by the player there in Ryland Cranwell, who goes towards full forward. Ball drops a little bit short. Somerville defence under the pump. Still an opportunity. Baxter, can he get to his right foot? He can. He goes off the ground, but he misses. 9-19-73, Chelsea 6-6-42. We've played 30 seconds in this last quarter, and the margin is 31 points, and it's hard to see if Somerville come back, but you never know.
Somerville go up towards the wing. Goes over the head of one contest. And the umpire's got found a free kick here.
Yeah, in the back, I think, boys. Good
going
decision.
Towards Somerville. To Mitch Mantell.
Tried hard all day.
There he goes long.
Good luck catching that.
Standing there all by himself with Sean Foster. The man who's probably leading the Jones Lupino best on ground today. The man who looks like the Bundy Bear. Cameron White. Great Melbourne supporter, Sean Foster. He goes down the line.
Who do you reckon the fortunate one out of that comparison is? Sean or Cameron?
No, Foz. He's a great man. White is a good man too. Some will go long looking for... Sorry. Am I seeing things, or is Kane McKenzie being put forward?
No, I don't think you're seeing things, mate.
So what they've done, that's why I stopped, because I saw Kane McKenzie and then Luke Rowe in the goal square.
Sometimes you just got to try something different, and they definitely need a spark. So,
just going back to your point before about looking like Cameron White. Well, the Raiders have got one of them too, so that looks a lot like Cameron White. You'll find that out soon, AJ.
Absolutely, Lockie Sharp takes a good mark.
They're looking a lot more consolidated behind the ball, Somerville.
He goes looking for Tom Roberts. He puts the big jukes up.
They've got to hit a target here. Lower the eyes, find someone on the lead, although when it's a big ruckman kicking it.
He goes long. That's a big
Holy
long
moly.
kick.
Ooh.
Almost gets there, but it's that man, Sean Foster, who punches the ball through. 9:19:73, plays 6:7:43 here. 2.5 minutes gone. Premier Traditional home scoreboard. Sean Foster probably going to have his 35th possession, I reckon, boys.
Yeah, you'd probably be right on the money there, AJ. Clearly been the best man on the ground. He's got a few teammates that are vying for that position, but I don't think anyone can get past him.
I reckon he's actually been to the hairdressers too, knowing that we're coming here this week.
Oh, 100%. As Nathan Gillis runs onto it, inside forward 50, he goes with a check side. Can that start something, boys? They've got their 7:7:49, plays Chelsea 9:19:73. The Premier Traditional home scoreboard, over to you, Daz.
Well, they needed a kickstart, and they've absolutely got it. What a good finish. We picked the wrong brother there, boys, but a really nice finish. Chelsea, they've been a little bit panicky with the ball. It looked like they were playing a spare behind the ball there, but a chaos ball inside 50 and a good rove. Geez, if they kick the next one, Chelsea might be not in a touch of trouble, but the panic button, they definitely need this clearance, and big Tommy Roberts needs to feed this straight down to a midfielder's throat.
The ruckman do battle. Middle of the Chelsea Recreation Reserve, Luke Burton is trying to just back out of a contest, and he's been pinged for holding the ball.
Oh boy.
Chelsea go long.
Great kick.
Looking for Baxter, and he's taking the mark.
Geez, what more could you ask for in terms of a response? You get the free kick. Dubious, yes or no, it's what you do with it. And what he's done is, that's one of the best kicks of the day.
Baxter's told to play on. He's going to go long to the top of the goal square. And it's been put through for Chelsea's 20th behind of the day. 9:20:74, plays Somerville 7:7:49. If Somerville can possibly get the next goal, it could be game on, boys. They need it desperately. They drive it in quickly. They've got some runners out, Somerville, if the ball sits for them. Lockie Williams has been quieter today. He runs onto the ball. He gets a quick forward. He's found Maroney.
He was all on his own on the wing there, Maroney, and just no one went with him for the majority of his run. Got into the right spot, and this is why we gave him 5 minutes, boys. We've just ticked over to the 5th minute mark. He puts this through. It's back to essentially 3 goals.
You watch the crowd just fire up from this Somerville contingent.
Oh, boy.
If they get this.
No curse from AJ, we like it.
Jack Maroney lining up for their 8th goal. The umpire goes to the right a bit, and it's a behind. 7:8:50 plays 9:20:74. Somerville just looking a lot more dangerous in this first 5 minutes of the last quarter.
Chelsea just need one to steady themselves down here, boys. They just they've had plenty of the ball, but haven't been able to put the scoring shots on the board. 29 scoring shots to 15. Haskett takes the mark right in front of us. They're going to load up again here. They're asking questions here, Somerville. They just need to find a target. They're at 50.
Luke Rowe can go back and have a shot from here. He's a monster kick.
He is a monster kick. He's 60 metres out, and I'm sure he can hear us. You can kick the distance, Luke. Have the shot. Let's see what he does.
Oh,
he goes high. He goes long. It's the back as a free kick. I tell you what, it was a huge kick, wasn't it?
They got behind it, and there's one man that's extremely lucky right now. That's Fletcher Douglas. playing from behind, had to get that ball to ground, went for the mark, it didn't pay off. You've got to play the percentages here. You're not trying to hang on to a lead. You still got to try and win the game. Do the right things.
Just found Albanese out on the boundary line that looked like it was going to go out. He rolls around. He goes up looking for Sean Foster, the man who's been dominant today. He just looks for a free kick, but none was forthcoming. Ball scored it out and we'll get a throw in. Just in between the Somerville and Chelsea benches here.
Not 100% sure it's legal to use him as a human stepladder without touching the footy, but I digress. He's been outstanding, the Foz man.
Ball thrown in. Lockie Haskett looking to run onto it for Somerville. He's getting his handball over to his brother and Jake. He goes searching for Lockie Williams. That was over the shoulder, but it wasn't given. Somerville bench not too happy. As a free kick given away against Chelsea to Paddy Nagel. He goes into the middle of the ground, finding that man, Tommy Roberts. He's been sensational for Somerville today, boys. He goes out wide looking for Mitch Mantell. He can go inside, forward 50, runs in, and he sprays the kick.
Needed to run in. He just really tried to slow trot rather than just go on the gallop there, and needed to go back and put that through. He had a real opportunity there.
9:20.74. Play 7:10.52 here on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard. That man, Sean Foster, has the ball again.
The last step that he took there, he put his left foot straight at the point post, and that's where he kicked it. It was just a really strange approach to kicking a goal, but we gave Chelsea a bit of stick for not putting the score on the board, boys. Somerville are in the same boat right now.
There's a contest up on the wing here. Just overran there from Caspers. He lays a good tackle, though, and we'll get a ball up once again in between the two benches here. Chelsea Recreation Reserve, almost 8 minutes gone on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard. Tom Roberts getting a decisive hit out once again. Barton with their hands. McGuinness goes long. Quick kick from Somerville's turned over. McKinnon, he goes deep inside looking for Siemens. He can't run onto it. Yes, he can. Bounces back to him. Thought it might have been the Stephen Milne bounce. Chappell, he goes and he's found Matty Baxter there inside the forward 50, and he'll line up for Chelsea's 10th goal.
Twice the game.
Currently 9:20.74, playing Somerville 7:10.52. 9 minutes gone in the last quarter, boys.
We don't really have an award for it, but that is the field kick of the day. Could have had a shot himself, could have tried something around the corner. Saw Matty Baxter out of the corner of his eye, Chappell I think it was, and just he put it on his chest. That was magnificent, deserves a goal.
3 goals, now 4. Chelsea are home here at Beardsworth Avenue. We're 9 minutes into the last quarter. They're 28 points in front, and surely they've done enough. 10-20-80, and Somerville are 7 goals, 10-52. This is the Battery World of Mornington match of the day, live on Audible PFM, and AJ, surely they've done enough.
I think they've done enough now, Vossi, and I tell you what, I reckon Devon Meadows have just put themselves in front of Somerville on the pecking order this year.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility to say that. This is, you have losses. There are different types of losses that you can have, but this is one that I think Somerville will come back at the end of the year and not be too happy with, because not a lot's gone right. So, yeah, I'd absolutely put Devon Meadows above them at this stage.
So, Somerville look to load up. Whilst I've said it's over, they're not going to give up on this. It was a poor kick, though. The mark has been taken. It's been taken by Kieran Albanese, who's got it at half-back.
Surely his nickname right now is Prime Minister. Around the club, you'd have to go with it, wouldn't you?
Elbow.
Yeah.
Maybe just simple elbow.
The Lodge.
Long kick.
We'll figure it out.
Of course, you've got Lewis Krieger. I'm sure his nickname's probably Freddie as well.
Yeah, absolutely, he should be.
Kick by Chappell down towards the left half forward. No mark taken. Ball on the ground. The umpire's given a free kick. What's happened behind play? Something's happened. The crowd are involved.
I reckon that was paid a 50-metre because the ball was kicked away, but I don't think anyone actually knew what way the free kick was going.
The crowd probably had a bit more of an idea than what we did, because we're a fair way away from what's going on down there.
This will be their 4th goal from 50-metre penalties, boys. 34-point lead. This one is done.
It sure is, and Bradley Siemens is a goal kicker, so it's his first for the afternoon. This game is over.
think from the Somerville point of view, there may be a quiet word to headquarters about some of the decisions that have been made today, boys.
Hasn't been the deciding factor for mine, so I think they'd need to look internally more than externally at this point. Whether the question's justified or not, I think will be up to them, but I'm not sitting here thinking that that's the reason why they've lost today.
Look, Chelsea have put themselves in the position where they haven't put the game away, and now they are starting to get it on the scoreboard and put the game away, but that's where the problem's been, the goal kicking.
I'm loving the crowd noise too, boys.
Oh,
they've been good today.
They get plenty of involvement, especially around finals time. Carr Street, the home of Mpnfl football. Long kick towards half forward, going up. No mark taken, ball on the ground. A hand pass. Ryan Gillis was tackled. He ducked a little bit, but the umpire said that's a free kick. It's a free kick for too high. So Ryan Gillis will go back from just outside the arc, so around 50 metres out from goal. And he just needs to... He'll do well to make the distance here, being late in the game. He might surprise me. He'll probably turn around and tell me so if he makes the distance here.
Got under it.
High kick. It got too far under it. Can Big Tom Roberts take the mark? No, he cannot. Ball on the ground, top of the goal square. Quick snap. Nathan
Great
Gillis,
finish.
that's a goal. They needed that one.
It's kicked both their goals this quarter.
8-10-58, plays 11-20-86. We've played 13 minutes in the last quarter. They need 5 goals in 15 minutes. Highly unlikely, but whilst there's life, there's hope, I suppose.
Not happening, Vossi.
I couldn't say it.
Oh, sorry, boys. I'll tell you what we do kind of need to talk about, and I hope we do it in the post-game, is we've said about, Somerville, if they got the fight, if they got this. I hope we give Chelsea their due credit once the siren goes and they're still in front, because as much as it is about the ball over, they've been absolutely outstanding. So full credit to them so far, and they just need to hold firm here. They don't want to let Somerville get too close, or they might panic.
So we're going to try and maybe get Fozzie over after the game. AJ, we maybe get Sean Foster over, have a chat to him?
Yeah, I think we're going to take the camera down towards the Chelsea rooms, I think, boys. So I'll step out at the end and let you guys do the wrap-up and head over, which would be good.
Yeah, I'm not sure we'd be allowed in the Somerville rooms, or we could put any of it to air. So that's probably a good decision by the decision-makers, much more intelligent than us.
As Somerville look to rebound from their defensive 50, they've found Lockie Williams. He's just come to life in this last quarter. He's got a bit of spark. He's going up looking for Kane McKenzie, who's dropped the mark. Needed to hang on to that one. Just sums up Somerville's day there. Krieger goes through the middle. Spoiled away. Somerville have gone out wide. Then they come back in the corridor. They've found Burton.
They've got... I thought they had a spare, but Chelsea have patched it up nicely.
Burton goes long, looking for McKenzie or Marshall.
Oh, I had to get that to ground. That's outstanding. The Prime Minister himself.
Switch the ball. He's turned it over, though. Can Somerville take a mark deep inside forward 50 at the moment? No, they cannot.
Got to stick your tackles too. Got to stick your tackles, AJ, and Kane McKenzie didn't then.
And Albanese is taking an easy mark.
It's that time of the day. Mr. Whippy's around.
Be good for the kiddies, but it's a little bit too cold.
Your son old enough to understand Mr. Whippy yet, or is he still a bit young?
No, you probably don't understand him, but he'll tuck into one.
Are you going to do the whole, the bell means that there's no ice cream left, mate, just to save yourself a bit of coin, the old parenting hack, or how are you going to approach that one?
No, I'll just let him have one. Should be right.
You're a good man.
Somerville looking to rebound once again. They've given away a free kick to Todd Gardner for a sling tackle without the ball. And they've found Dave Barton.
This would be the nail in the coffin if it hasn't been delivered already.
He's going to go in short. He's looking for that man, Matty Baxter, who's been sensational. But he's given away a free kick.
Oh, to the Bronx cheers. Interesting. Don't mind a Bronx cheer. Doesn't matter what sport it is. It's good to see the fans getting involved.
Somerville go long. looking for Tom Roberts. He's competing against two. Can't take the mark. We'll get a throw in on the far side. Chelsea 11-20-86, playing Somerville 8-10-58. Nearly 16 and a half minutes gone on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard. Goal of the day is going to be brought to you by Icon Sports Melbourne, the leader in all social media packages and clothing and equipment. As Chelsea go inside forward 50 once again. The tackle's laid on sharp. Mitch Brown has the ball, but there's no free kick coming.
Helped set the game up. Mitch Brown was fantastic. Been a bit quieter in the second half, but he hasn't been as needed.
The Rucks do battle. Roberts just with a big fist. He tries to get the ball going forward for Somerville. Maroney with an intercept. He tries to get through the tackle. He's not able to do so. Lockie Haskett. He's gone to sharp. They're looking out wide. Looking Mackenzie. Gillis, he's been fantastic with the Nathan variety. He goes inside forward 50, looking
Great
for his
kick.
brother Ryan. Not able to take the mark. Chelsea are going to defend once again. They've just got a quick hack kick out towards.
Jake Haskett's out here on the far side, all on his own.
Kane McKenzie at the other end. Yes, Somerville supporters, you are seeing that right. He is playing forward. Sean Foster doing the clearing kick. Another free kick is being given here, and that'll go to Somerville. Through Ethan Mills. He looks long, looking for Ryan Gillis, but it doesn't get to him. A great intercept mark there for Chelsea through Zibaris. He goes out wide to that man once again, Sean Foster. As much as I love him, I'm getting sick of calling his name.
He's leather poisoning at the moment. We've got to
Mitch
rush this man
Brown.
to the hospital.
He's gone up to Todd Gardner.
Arguably their three best players today, all involved in the one sequence.
Gardner goes long, looking for that man, Baxter. Barton, he picks it up, tries to turn.
Oh boy.
And there's a free kick given here to Dave Barton for holding the man. It looks like there's going to be a bit of dissent as umpire Rowan David takes Dave Barton down to the goal square. He'll kick from the goal line. He kicks the goal. Chelsea get their 12th.
Oh, and the celebration too, I like it. That's their 5th goal from 50-metre penalties, boys, from the top of the square.
As Sean Foster just coming off for a well-earned rest.
Yeah, I'd probably start the warm down now, mate. He's been outstanding and probably won't be needed for the rest of the contest.
I think I'd be putting a bag of ice on his right foot, Vossi. 12-20-92, playing 8-10-58. Almost 20 minutes gone here in the last quarter. Roberts, just a fist out of the ruck. Zibaris, he's dispossessed and conceded a holding the ball free kick against him. Somerville look inside forward 50 once again. Standing there is Ryan Gillis, not able to take the mark. He's trying to break through the pack, although he handballs it astray. That man Zibaris clears up McKinnon. He goes up fighting McGuinness. He sold his teammate into trouble. The player there in Vraka, and we'll get a ball up just in front of us here. Almost 20 minutes gone, 12-20-92, playing 8-10-58. Tom Roberts just trying to get a clearing hit out. He's been a monster in the ruck today. Chappell's been a bit quiet in this last half, but he was good early. And nothing coming.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but that might have been a little bit of a flinch from old Jakey Haskett there. He's been one of, if not the best for Somerville, but I think he'd like that moment back.
Ball thrown up. Roberts does battle. Ball goes long, and it just bounces out in front of both Williams and Gillis for Somerville.
34 points is the margin here at Beardsworth Avenue. Chelsea have played some pretty good football. They just haven't been able to put the score on the board. So we might not go as hard on the volatile today. They have kept the opposition in it. They could have got a bit of percentage out of it, but they're going to get the 4 points, and that's what they've come for. Dave Willett, the coach, will be very, very happy with that. Against the Somerville side that, with a few players back today, you thought, well, today was going to be a day that they get back on the bike, as it were, but This will be, I think it's 3 out of 4 losses, I think, for Somerville. I could be right in saying that. So, not ideal. There's Gillis, a snap.
Ooh.
Nathan it was, a left foot banana kick.
He can hold his head up high today, boys. He's been fantastic for Somerville.
Yeah, he absolutely can. He's been their most dangerous forward for almost the last quarter and a half, which is probably says something about Somerville's forward line, the fact that not a lot of others have put their hand up, but yeah, he can hold his head up high probably with Tommy Roberts and Jakey Haskett.
12:20.92 Chelsea, 8:11.59 Somerville, 22 minutes played in the last quarter. This is the Battery Auto Mornington Match of the Day live here on RPPFM. Hope you've enjoyed the contest throughout the afternoon. It's going to be a Chelsea victory and they'll celebrate it well tonight, I'm sure, as the long kick comes out of defence. Ball comes to ground. They'll load back up here against Somerville. They will, and they go towards Luke Rowe at half forward. He's 50 out from goal. He should just turn around and just try and go bang here. They've got very little time. They really haven't got much of a chance, but just try and maybe do something with the kick. That drops in short. That was a funny looking kick actually. And it seemed to just rather than a normal drop punt, it just sort of was a reverse sort of drop punt as it were. But the marker's been taken. It's been taken by Jack Moroney, who's 25 metres out. He's not quite directly in front, but he's kicked the goal, and the margin is back to 27 points. 9:11.65. It plays Chelsea 12:20.92. It played 23 minutes on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard.
Boys, I'm going to step out for the last couple of minutes and go and get ready for some interviews.
No worries at all, mate. No commentators curse today, but you've been outstanding.
You guys take over, and Daz, you'll step up for the last 5 minutes, mate.
Mate, absolutely. Vossi and I got this covered. Make no mistake about it. If you're Chelsea here, Vossi, surely you still want to be putting a score on the board and putting the game away, even though the contest is done. Yeah, look, you don't want to. They deserve a $5 plus victory today, and it's currently 27 points. So you're right in what you're saying. There's an opportunity for Haskett. Jake it was, who goes towards the forward pocket. No mark taken there by Ryan Gillis. Chelsea should win out, although that's a good smother there by Moroney. And the ball is over for a boundary throw-in with Somerville into attack. There hasn't really been a lot of forward pressure in this last quarter, well, for the game, you could argue, for Somerville. So it was a good contest there, 2 of them getting over to smother, but maybe a little bit too little too late. 6 goals to 3 in the second half, and those 3 goals have all been in the last quarter here for Somerville. None in the third quarter. Jake Haskett has had a very good game right in front of us here, and he's done a really good job, and he's just heard his name mentioned on the radio, I think. There, good on you, Jake. I did make you as a bowler, just remember that. He claimed to fame, Vossi, I like it. Yeah, no, he's a good man, Jake. His brother's a very good cricketer too, very good footballer also. Not as good today, Lockie, though. Here's an opportunity for a quick kick inside attacking 50, but the ball is going to go away from Luke Rowe now. Chelsea will clear, and they will through Mitch Brown. Well, they should have through Mitch Brown, and he turned right into trouble. Free kick, holding the ball. Free kick, kick to full forward, and it's off target. It's out of bounds. Craig, you got some scores for us? Have we got any close games happening?
That's better. Pines will take the game against Sorrento, 100-43. Dramana lead Rosebud, 70-39. Edie Asp and Frankston Bombers. Bombers up by 5 points.
Oh, that's close.
Frankston YCW 110, Mount Eliza 63, and Bond Beach 89, Red Hill 58. In DIV2, just quickly, Langwarren 50, Mornington 43.
Wow.
Hastings 68, Seaford 82. Karingal 59, Crib Point 48, Peacedale 87, Rye 48, and Devon Meadows 88, Tyab 50. But we'll keep an eye on that Mornington Langwarren score for you.
Tyab have been reasonable again today by the sound of it.
Seaford got off to a really good second quarter score, but they seem to have had the brakes put on them in their game, but they're still in front. But we'll keep an eye on that Langwarren Mornington score.
Geez, wouldn't that be a boil over if Langwarren don't get the job done? Oh, they're out here.
There's a left foot snap, and that is off target and through for behind. The miss on that occasion came from Lockie Williams, especially at Langwarren that game.
Absolutely. He's been good in the second half too, Lockie Williams.
Yeah, Devon Meadows only the 6 goals in front, AJ, so a long way short of what you suggested this afternoon.
Just want to keep it interesting, boys.
Not long left in this one, Vossi.
There is not. Spasevsky with the ball, goes out towards half-back. The mark has been taken by Barton. He's been pretty good today, Dave Barton.
Yeah, I've enjoyed his game. He's played purely half-forward, and I think he's done the job really well. He's led up at the ball nicely. He's stuck his tackles as well, so he'll be another one of a number of Chelsea players that will walk off the ground with their heads held high.
Yep, they certainly will, and they certainly deserve to. The margin currently is 26 points. It's 26 and a half minutes in the last quarter. They're looking for one more. Can they get one more on the board? Take that margin past the 5 goals. No, that's a siren. So no point going a shot from there because you're not going to make the distance. The mark was taken by Brad Clark, but not going to be a chance of a score. So the final score here at Beardsworth Avenue, it's a win to Chelsea this afternoon. The home side winning by 26 points. 12-20-92. They've beaten Somerville 9 goals, 12-66. We'll take a break and we'll come back and we'll wrap things up here from Beardsworth Avenue.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Kevin and his lean team pride themselves on the finest cuts, from juicy steaks and roasts to high-grade mince and sausages. And Eliza Meats are the gourmet specialists. Inquire about Eliza Meats Spit Hire. Phone 9787 4473 for a mouth-watering meal fit for a king. It's all at Eliza Meats. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats, 112B Mount Eliza Way, a station sponsor.
Need your property painted, but you don't want to just trust any painter with your asset? Give Wow Factor Painting Solutions a call. We're based on the Mornington Peninsula and specialise in high-quality painting solutions. We are proud members of the Master Painters Victoria and the Dulux Accredited Program. For a free quotation, visit wowfactorps.com.au or call 0475 448 285. Wow Factor Painting Solutions, a station sponsor.
Battery World now open in Mornington.
We know batteries. We know our 75 D23Ls from our DIN 65 LHs. And we know which is best for you. We have the range and a spark no one else can match because we live and breathe batteries. Those beautiful boxes and cylinders that power our lives and our passions. That's why we're the batteryologists. We're Battery World.
Battery World Shop 1, 43 Mornington Tyre Road, Mornington.
And welcome back. We're just seeing the 200 gamer, I believe, chaired off the ground. Great vision there from Pete Sosovich. AJ's down there too to conduct some post-match interviews. And boys, I think the man of the match has already been decided for this afternoon's game.
Sean Foster's easily the BAG this afternoon.
Yeah, I think he had a grasp on that at about the 15-minute mark of the second quarter, and no one was going to take it off him. Found a heap of the ball. I haven't got his disposals in front of me, but if it's anything under 40, someone's not counting properly. But plenty of Chelsea boys can hold their hand up. David Barton was good. Todd Gardner made his disposals count, even if he didn't have a high disposal count. I'm half impressed I actually got that out properly. But, yeah, the Chelsea boys will be really impressed with this. And I think from here, all they've got to hope for is consistency. They need these performances on more than just a today basis, which is what they're going to need to do if they're going to propel themselves up the ladder and put themselves in finals contention.
It just makes you wonder, because last week they had a very poor display against Mornington. Okay, Mornington's form has been reasonable today against Lang Warren, which is the pinnacle of the competition, but it's hard to read Chelsea's form, and today they've come out and had a good one, and next week they might not come out and have a good one. It's just they're up and down like the yo-yo at the moment.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I think, and I hope, and maybe we can get AJ to ask what they can do to improve that consistency, but I think them knowing that they can beat anyone on any given day, having their destiny in their hands, I think is going to be a lot better than a team that mightn't be in great form, and that's Somerville at the moment on the other edge of that the other side of that coin, I should say. At the moment, 3 of their last 4 losses, that's not a position anyone wants to be in, especially a team that probably at the start of the year we had as 3rd or 4th best in the competition, probably behind Pearcedale and Langwarrin.
Just got that full-time score through, Daz, from Langwarrin and Mornington. That was our close game. Langy kicked away, winning that game by 20 points, 9-9-63 to Mornington's 6-7-43. Coringal 11 points up on Crib Point at the moment. Pearcedale will win that game against Roe. Devon Meadows 51 points up on Tyab. And Seaford at the moment still leading Hastings 82-68 in the DIV2. We might have a couple of full-time scores through. Pines have defeated Sorrento 16-10-106 to Sorrento's 7-10-52. Dramana have beat Rosebud 11-17-83. Rosebud 6-10-46. In the fourth quarter, Frankston Bombers 114, EDF 90. And the fourth quarter, Frankston YCW have to be Div 1 favourites at the moment, 116 over Mount Eliza 70.
Wow.
And Bond Beach have beaten Red Hill 14-5, 89 to Red Hills 9-4-58. And just quickly in the AFL, Geelong have beaten Adelaide 97-55, and we're in time on in the fourth quarter. Brisbane Lions are 14 points up on GWS.
It's a good effort by the Giants. They've kicked accurately, but good week for me in the tipping. Vossi, from those results off the top of my head, I'll go back and have a look at the brief maybe later to justify my statement, but I think this game and maybe one more might be the only one I've got wrong, so I'll absolutely take that. So cheers to YCW. I was the only one that tipped them, and they got me over the line, so not that I want to be too self-indulgent, but, you know.
And just for those of you watching the stream at home, and you can see what I'm wearing, you can see I'm wearing the big Freeze 8. Ash Barty was the first of the sliders announced last night.
Yes, fantastic, isn't it?
And of course, with her doing it, a fantastic Australian we can all look up to, absolutely. But do yourself a favour and go and buy yourself a beanie. And just Neil down there has given so much. The man is obviously... Well, he's struggling. He's struggling at the moment, but Div to help the beast, try and contain the beast, as it were, and he's been awesome to. Like he's had 2 years, he's had 8 or near enough to 8 years. It's amazing. It's amazing, but
yeah,
if you can just do a little bit, pay your $25, get your beanie, and just do whatever else you can to sort of do it.
Yeah, a lot of places are cleaned out, but Coles Express, Bunnings, and fightmnd.org to get your beanie. I agree with you. Kids' beanies, $20 as well. It's a small price to pay for a massive cause. I'm struggling to believe it's the 8th big freeze. Where's the time gone? It's been unbelievable. Quickly before we move on to the next thing, Vossi, if you had to pick someone in the sporting fraternity to go down the slide that you'd want to see that we haven't seen yet, who would you go with? Who do you reckon someone you'd like to chuck down the slide for good or bad reasons?
Oh, wow.
I know I've put you on the spot. Craig, does one come to mind?
I don't know whether has Dermot Brereton been down the slide
I don't think Derm's done it.
Can we chuck Bernard Tomic down there?
We could chuck Bernard Tomic and Kyrgios down there if you like together.
They wouldn't go down together
and throw them on the slide together. I think would be a good idea.
What about someone, I don't know, maybe, what about someone like Ricky Ponting?
Punter?
What about
Punter? I don't rate that. Dermy would be a struggle because his hair would actually look better getting out than it would going in. So
I think
I'd love to see Jason Dunstall as a Hawthorn fan because he's a grumpy man when he's not wet. The Chief. I don't reckon he'd be in the best mood if he was dunked in the ice bath. That would be one to see, I think.
Yeah, Ash Barty's going to be great. So yeah, no, that's a very hard question right off the cuff there, Daz.
I was due for a good question, so I'm glad that I've come out with it now. In the postgame.
I guess the big freeze is Monday week, isn't it? The Monday public holiday at the G, so we'll obviously see who else is announced. But I'd like to see Dermy go down, mainly for the hair, I think, would be the big thing.
Do you reckon he'd want to go down on his motorbike?
Could do.
I don't think they'd let him, but it would definitely be an option. That'd be a cracking game as well. The Pies are the last team to beat Melbourne, and that was Nathan Buckley's last game as Collingwood coach. So,
yeah, well, we'll see what eventuates with the big game tomorrow at the G, with Carlton taking on Collingwood, to see what sort of form they'll take into that particular game. I think we're just about ready to wrap things up here this afternoon. Steve, are we right to wrap things up here? Well, yeah. Boys, well done this afternoon. AJ, of course, has ducked off to interview our man of the match. It's been a great call by the team this afternoon. Thank you to Vossi and to Daz, first time in the crew. Well done, mate. Great to have you on board.
No, I appreciate that, boys. Fingers crossed I can get in the box more often, but Vossi's the star. We all know it, and we fall in line behind him. So you've been brilliant again, Vossi. I appreciate it.
It's something to look forward to when you consider it, all that I've been through in the last few months. It's certainly something to focus on when I've had very little to focus on. So, good to get out here. What a surprising upset it was. But Chelsea, well played to them. 26-point victors this afternoon over Somerville. They cement their spot in the top 5 with that win. Fantastic result. And on that note, we're just about out of here.
Yep, thank you to the backroom crew as usual, Heath and Steve and BT on the camera up top, and of course the El Presidente, Pete Susevich as well. And we'll do the pre-game wrap-ups, which we'll be loading up on our socials a little bit later on, maybe tonight, if not tomorrow. And we'll catch you back. Not too sure what game we're at next Saturday, but
I believe I know. Can we announce it?
Yeah, well, you can, yeah, if you know.
We're at Pearcedale next week.
Oh, that's right, we are too. Yes.
Pearcedale are playing Langwarrin.
Yes.
Oh, what a game that will be.
We'll be back at Pearcedale. And just a note, if anyone from the Pearcedale canteen is listening, make sure you stay open past half time.
Oh, boy.
And have some bacon and egg rolls ready for us. So
bacon and egg rolls, not just for breakfast, throughout the afternoon as well. A lot of us can't be here in the morning. Just a little point of note. Those of us that do like a good bacon and egg roll, we do like to have choice in our food.
I'm astounded that I am trained in hospitality. I am a trained chef qualified, and I'm not the pickiest eater here. That's astounding.
Thanks for your company. I've been watching and listening, and we'll sign off, and we'll catch you again next week on RWPFM.
1 2 1 2 1 2. We're down here with the Jones